It's Big Ten Saturday night, presented by Discover. We're in Iowa City where the fans are energized. A blackout under the lights in Kinnick Stadium. The Iowa Hawkeyes welcome in the Michigan State Spartans in an old-school Big Ten battle. Here at Kinnick Stadium, one of the best environments in the Big Ten and quite frankly in all of the country. And with the fans decked out in black, here come the Hawkeyes. You hear about what the fans are all about here in Iowa. You hear about the special scenes of a night game at Kinnick Stadium. And the Hawkeyes, coming off a disappointing performance last week at Penn State in the whiteout game, are hoping to flip that entirely in tonight's blackout game back here at home as they welcome in Michigan State. We're glad to have you with us here at Kinnick. Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, Catherine Tappan, Reggie Smith, and really appreciate you joining for the ride. A ride with both teams that are looking to really bounce back from disappointing games a week ago. And for Iowa, it always seems to start with the offense and Cade McNamara.
You know, so much negative noise about the Iowa offense the last couple of years, and for a lot of different reasons. We'll get into that all night. They took some strides in the right direction their first three games with their new quarterback, Cade McNamara, then went up to Penn State and laid a giant egg last week. So everybody in this stadium wants to see, what are we going to see offensively tonight? I think one thing they have to do, and Matt hit it on the pregame show, got to get the ball to wide receivers and make Michigan State defend the whole field. A
lot of turmoil for Michigan State. Mel Tucker officially fired earlier this week, and quite frankly, it's crazy to say this. This is their first road game of the season in week 5, and maybe it's not the worst thing in the world that they get away from home.
Comes at a great time. They've lost 2 in a row. They've not played their best football. Get on the road, get away from the distractions, away from the noise in East Lansing, bond together, and try to put a 4-quarter game together tonight.
We'll see if the Spartans can figure it out on the road for the first time this season. We'll see if the Hawkeyes offense is so much of the delight of the sold-out crowd here at Kinnick Stadium. It's Iowa and Michigan State, a Big Ten showdown, and it's all straight ahead on NBC.
The following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Back here, Big Ten Saturday night in Iowa City. A beautiful night for some football and a sold-out crowd in a blackout environment at Kinnick Stadium. Michigan State's been in the news for most of the season. For more on that, we go downstairs to Catherine Tappan.
Yeah, Noah, on Wednesday, Michigan State fired Mel Tucker amidst allegations of sexual harassment, which he denies. And while there's more to play out in the coming weeks around Tucker and the school and those allegations and his contract, the firing this week brings out several immediate football impacts. Because he was fired mid-season, Michigan State players had a 30-day transfer portal open. Some highly touted high school recruits have decommitted. And the rumor mill of potential names to be the next head coach is swirling, including the likes of Lance Leipold at Kansas, Jonathan Smith at Oregon State, and Jake Dickert at Washington State, as reported by our Nicole Auerbach. Michigan State has not commented on requests for information on how the search for a permanent head coach will go. All this as acting head coach Harlan Barnett, a Michigan State alum, gets set to coach his 3rd game of the season. I spoke with wide receiver Christian Fitzpatrick, one of the team's leaders, about the headlines surrounding the program. He told me no one cares on Saturday game day what you went through. People want results, and we don't have time to mope around. Noah?
Excellent work, KT, and Christian Fitzpatrick is absolutely correct. Redshirt junior with a really mature outlook on it. Harlan Barnett has tried to get his kids ready and just keep them as shielded as really they can be from the outside noise.
I talked to Mark D'Antonio, who's helping out down the field before the game. He said the coaches and the players are doing an amazing job. They just have to play cleaner football. And how about this? Iowa wins the toss and is receiving the football after gaining 76 yards and no points a week ago at Penn State. Kirk Ferentz is saying, you know what, let's put that offense right back out on the field and start fresh tonight.
31-0. They lose in the whiteout game. So Jonathan Kim will send it deep for Michigan State. And we'll see, it looks like it will be a touchback. And it will bring out Cade McNamara in this Iowa offense. We've seen this happen a lot in the transfer portal era. You go out and get an experienced and highly successful quarterback. Iowa did it, and they're hoping for some greater results this week.
Yeah, and I just think he'll get better and better the more he plays. And one thing you got to keep in mind, this guy came back from a knee injury a year ago at Michigan. He's healthy, he starts camp, and early in training camp, August 12th, he has a serious quad injury, misses a bunch of training camp, and you can still, it still is affecting him. He's not 100%, but he is a talented guy and a very confident and composed quarterback.
Two tight ends to start the game. This is what Iowa does. Power football with the running back, Le'Shawn Williams. Play action on first down, fires, and McNamara gets his first completion. It's a catch and run for Deontay Vines on a first down. This was something that Brian Ferentz, the offensive coordinator, really stressed to us yesterday when we met with him. They want to get the offensive wide receivers involved more than anything else.
Well, tight ends had 24 catches coming into tonight. The whole wide receiver room only 14. So first play of the game, they have twin receivers. He had them both open, and he makes a nice throw off play action to Vines for the first big play of the game.
Outside of just the injury for McNamara, he's already lost his top target, Luke Lachey, their #1 tight end. They do have the fellow Michigan transfer, Eric All, in there as well. This is another completion. Nico Ragaini on the first down, catch and run.
Well, they told us about Ragaini. The reason they wanted to get him the football is he's got a little juice when he gets the ball in his hands. He can make some things happen, make some people miss, and right out of the gates, they win the toss and take the football, and they hit the receivers on their first 2 plays of the game. Pretty impressive start.
Todd, you mentioned it last week. Didn't even get to 100 yards total. Under 80 yards in the game. They've got 37 on their first 2 plays today. Le'Shawn Williams, the running back. 2 other running backs banged up, Caleb Johnson and Jazian Patterson. How about 3 for 3 to start the game for Cade McNamara? This one goes to Steven Stilianos, another tight end. Well, Iowa's offense a week ago at Penn State, to say they were abysmal would be an understatement.
Yeah.
76 total yards. They had 7 punts in the game, but those play differences, 97 to 33, that's almost unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, that's a game you have to try to flush as quickly as possible, and they're doing a good job showing that they were able to do that and put a good week of preparation together for this one.
Second down and 1.
13 personnel, 3 tight ends in for this short yardage.
And they give it to the back, Moulton up the gut for the first down.
No, the reason that this start is so important for Iowa is because where Michigan State defensively is weakest is in their pass defense. It's been that way for a couple years. They're pretty physical and stout up front against the run, but they give up a lot of plays in the passing game. That's what got exposed against Washington and Maryland, their last 2 losses. And Iowa so far off to a very good start throwing the football and making Michigan State defend the whole field.
Kirk Ferentz in his 25th season. He relies on all the experience through the years at the helm of this program after a game like last week. Just the second time he was shut out. Handoff, it'll be Williams. And the stutter step picks up 5.
See, this is a case where a lot of times you think a team runs to set up the pass. The pass is setting up the run. A couple good runs now on the back end of this drive set up by their early success throwing the football.
See Brian Ferentz and his father Kirk. Brian mentioned that as well as the offensive coordinator, play caller. He said last week they just didn't run the ball effectively enough, and that was a recipe for success. They felt like going in with an offensive line group that they felt has matured well through the early portion of this season.
Here's his main guy right here, Eric All. That's the tight end who transferred with him from Michigan. They've got great chemistry together.
And with the play clock dwindling down, Iowa's going to take their first time out. So the quick start for the Hawkeyes, not entirely ideal there to have to take the timeout just a couple minutes into this first quarter. But offensively, we heard it. Everybody in the building yesterday, whether it was players or coaches, said, we flushed that. We got rid of it. And Kirk was pretty adamant that, you never really know until you get to the game.
Yeah.
Well, so far, so good. Just look at the difference from a week ago to today. The first couple of plays almost matching the yardage of what they had all game last week.
And most of that yardage they had last week was in their first 2 possessions. After that, and a couple turnovers, it really went south on them in a hurry. But they look sharp, and they do look focused and locked in. And Caden McNamara 3 for 3 after going 5 for 14 a week ago against Penn State's defense.
Michigan State is missing a number of starters on the defensive side, something we'll get into throughout the game. But playing shorthanded, now they're going to have to find a way as they near the red zone to get a stop.
Empty backfield. You have to be aware of quarterback draw here as well from Iowa.
McNamara on 2nd and 5. Oh, it's dropped. He was looking for Eric All, and it brings up 3rd down.
Eric All was just looking upfield. I mean, that's a good throw. He should have been 4 for 4, and Eric All just was trying to look upfield and see how many extra yards he was going to get before he made the catch, and just didn't secure the football first.
All comes in from Michigan. His career best day actually came with McNamara 2 years ago at Michigan against Michigan State. All had 10 catches for 98 yards in a back-and-forth loss.
Michigan State showing man coverage right now across the board.
3rd and 5. McNamara poised to the outside, incomplete. Seth Anderson, the intended target. And now a likely field goal for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, you got to try to get separation. That's been difficult for these Iowa wide receivers so far, and that time Anderson got a little bit, but McNamara too wide on the football. And part of that is, as a quarterback, you have to have confidence those guys are going to get there, and it might be tight windows, but you got to give them a chance to make plays.
So it'll be a 40-yard attempt for the sophomore Drew Stevens, who's 4 for 5 on the season. And it is perfect. First field goal from 40 or beyond of the season for Stevens. And Iowa gets points to start the game. They win the toss. They elect to receive. And they cash in with a long field goal from their sophomore to go out in front early in front of their hometown fans.
With Discover, every fan earns cash back on their game day purchases. Discover, the official card of the Big Ten.
Back here in Iowa City, Brian Ferentz in his 7th season as the offensive coordinator with the Hawkeyes. He played offensive line here from 2001 to 2005, a cup of coffee in the NFL as well, and then spent some time as a coach with the Patriots before coming back and joining his father's staff. And he's under a lot of scrutiny this year, but that first drive got into Michigan State territory, cashed in with a field goal, as this will be returnable. Tyrell Henry, and the first kick return allowed by Iowa this season, just short of the 20. Let's go down to KT for a little bit more.
Yeah, well, you guys were talking about Iowa coming off that historic loss to Penn State. Kirk Ferentz told us back in the day I would have buried the film, but we don't have grass anymore. With regard to the outside criticism, he said, I tell my guys to think about where those words are coming from. Listen to the people in your life that matter. Block out the rest of the noise from everyone else. And Hawkeye's leader on defense, Jay Higgins, told me he lives by the 24-hour rule. You learn what you can, but it's important to move on, Noah.
The thing that's hard, it's easier for older coaches to turn stuff off, but for these young guys and all the social media, pretty difficult.
A little end around on the reverse for Alante Brown with some good space to run. He picks up 9. Xavier Wampa lays the boom at the end of the play. It's 2nd and 1.
Jay Johnson said he wanted to get Alante Brown some touches the very first play of the game. They get it to him. The transfer from Nebraska.
Brown, who had just one rushing attempt all year, still hasn't caught a pass at wide receiver.
Look at this formation. Look how wide these receivers are. And this is like Tennessee-esque.
Nate Carter, the running back, wrapped up. They gave him the first down on the run from Brown, but this one goes back to the line of scrimmage. Deontay Craig swallows him up. And now Noah Kim, who earned the starting job after Peyton Thorne transferred to Auburn. And it's been Kim who, the first 2 games looked just unbelievable, was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week after week 2. But the last 2 against Washington and last week against Maryland has struggled, especially returning the football over.
Yeah, that's his job number 1 tonight, is take care of the football.
Play action on 2nd and 10. Kim rolls, he's dangerous with his legs, fires on the run. Malik Carr, this is what this dude does. He just vacuums in these footballs and picks up 4.
Well, he's 6'6", 260 pounds, but his athleticism is off the charts. Basketball background, watch him just use his body and the ball skills. High points that catch. Watch this one. Reaches back with one hand and makes the grab. He is a matchup nightmare for any defense, and Phil Parker very well aware of the problems he presents tonight.
They don't call Malik the Freak for nothing. 3rd and 5. Kim flushed out. Kim on the run again. Carr makes the catch, but he's short of the first down.
And see, this is what Iowa does defensively so well. They're so fundamentally sound. They don't give up big plays. They're always in the right spot, and they force you to throw underneath. That's good coverage by Quinn Schulte, the boundary safety, and they force the punt situation on 3rd down. They're good tacklers, they're good with fundamentals, and they keep the roof on the top of the defense and give up very few big plays. Last year, only 24 plays over 20 yards.
Ryan Eckley, the punter here. Michigan State uses 2 of them. Cooper DeJean, the all-everything player for Iowa, back, but he lets it go, and what a die on the bounce. This will be downed at the 2. Eckley is fired up, and the Spartans pin back the Hawkeyes deep. Philip Davis covers it up, and Cade McNamara with a long field to go. Iowa's defense has always been strong, but their offense lackluster, especially these last few years. We look at last season, those FBS ranks really tell the story. You always say it, Todd, when you see triple digits for the ranks, never a good thing. So this season, they get Cade McNamara. They expect to take that leap and that jump, and so far it just hasn't been what they were hoping for last week. Really the low point, no points. First shutout loss is 2000, but 76 total yards. And yet on that first drive, both Kirk Ferentz and Brian Ferentz have to be at least somewhat encouraged with what they saw.
Well, last week only 3 plays in Penn State territory the entire game. In that first drive, 6 plays, including the field goal.
And now they're pinned all the way back at their own 3-yard line for Cade McNamara, Le'Shawn Williams, who has the handoff, and he's taken down in the backfield.
Yeah, Michigan State not afraid of the pass at all, expecting a conservative call. A lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage. And Williams pretty lucky he was even able to get this out of his own goal line.
Brule with a quick bolt and makes the play. So now 2nd down and 11. And Iowa's going to have to be extra careful here with an offensive line that's still finding that cohesion that they're looking for.
Iowa is not a real strong football team when they get off schedule. That first negative yardage play, huge for Michigan State.
That was one of the big keys for Michigan State defensive coordinator Scotty Hazelton. Now McNamara getting out of trouble, and he just goes down at the 1.
Took a bad shot, too. He took a bad shot right on the back, on his back, the back of his head.
And he doesn't look great. And remember, he had that quad injury.
Yeah, and he's grabbing his leg, too.
Exactly. He went down before the contact came, and that looks similar to how he went down during training camp. Let's take another look at it as Deacon Hill starts warming up on the sideline.
Moves up, and right there, you can see the pain. I mean, it's before the hit, and that has to be the quad again that's bothering him, because he just went straight down to the turf. Remember, Kirk Ferentz told us yesterday, on August 12th when he got injured, he just was running, there was no contact, and he just kind of face planted on the ground. And you could see last week in a scramble or in a bootleg situation when he ran that it was still kind of bothering him. But this time it looked like it's a painful situation for him as well.
And you can feel just the collective gasp and really concern from the crowd here and the fan base. This was the quarterback that they went out, they pursued, had an outstanding run at Michigan, going 13-3 as a starter. We'll check on him when we come back. Thought this was moments ago, Cade McNamara being helped off the field.
Yeah, just so sad to see. I mean, he's battled through so much stuff. They got off to a good start. Now, for his backup, Deacon Hill, first and foremost, he has to get this snap cleanly.
And do that, he'll just charge forward. He's a big body, listed at 6'3", nearly 260 pounds. And the transfer from Wisconsin does provide a little bit of breathing room. The good news for Iowa, they have one of the best punters in the country, and Tory Taylor will have to try to flip the field best he can. But now the concern means past that the rest of this game potentially if Cade McNamara can't return. Deacon Hill, new to this program, arrived in the spring. They said he's just been getting comfortable both with the system and with his teammates, but he's got a rocket arm. He's not as mobile as Cade maybe, but he does have ability, and we'll see what he's got moving forward tonight. So Taylor is in there, and he lets it rip for Tyrell Henry. And how about that? This kid is ridiculous. Henry, and nowhere to go. The punt coverage and the special teams. Kurt Ferentz said that Iowa was going to have to win that considerably tonight, and that's a great start from Taylor and company.
Well, first of all, Eckley for Michigan State did a beautiful job of pinning Iowa down around the 2-yard line. And now on this one, Taylor has his heels right by the back of the end zone and drives that thing past the 50-yard line to help this Iowa defense. You know, you get the feeling anyway, even before the McNamara injury, that field position was going to be huge in this game. Both punters showing a good thing here to start.
Taylor gets that one for 56 yards. First down carry, Nate Carter, who has had a spectacular start to his Michigan State career and trying to just find some sort of crease as we take a look at our big shots brought to you by Nissan.
Yeah, well, Nate Carter, who just ran that football, has had a really nice start to the season here. Malik Carr, we've already seen him catch the ball twice. On defense, Deontay Craig at defensive end and Cooper DeJean. They had 3 pick-sixes a year ago, 5 total interceptions. Just an outstanding athlete and all-around football player for the Hawkeye defensive backs.
First set of downs, Kim over the middle, right back to Carr, who breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, and explodes just shy of the 30 with a flag down.
He's just such a big target, you know, and he has a good feel for the zone on this one. Schulte, the safety, is there just a hair late. Looks like this one may be coming back, but
personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense number 85. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Logan Lee, the senior right tackle, that nose tackle area just over the top of that right side and the left side of the line for the offensive side, and just a little bit too much right coming.
Yeah, left hand right there.
Yep.
See the left hand? And a costly penalty because they had to catch the Carr, and now they add extra yardage, and Michigan State inside the red zone.
First down, Kim, swing it to the outside. Carr looking for that corner. He can't find it on the edge. Tripped up by Wampa.
I like the attack mode right now by Jay Johnson. He's spreading the ball around, but Malik Carr is definitely the go-to guy. The biggest matchup problem for this really solid Iowa defense. He's out of the game right now.
Todd, Noah Kim is 4 for 4 to start the game.
Yeah.
All 4 to Malik Carr.
Yeah.
He said he looks at him as a security blanket, makes it easy on everything else. This time they pitch it, Carter, and he picks up 2 more. It will be 3rd and short with another flag.
Well, this is where Iowa typically, under defensive coordinator Phil Parker, has been at their best in the red zone, keeping teams out of the end zone, not giving up big plays. Harlan Barnett, very familiar with Phil Parker. Phil Parker was a great defensive back himself at Michigan State.
Offense number 92. 15-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Evan Morris is the backup tight end who's in for Malik Carr. Here he is right here. And this is a costly penalty. And penalties and turnovers have been the problem. An illegal block from that position on the line of scrimmage, and it sets him back.
We talked to Cooper DeJean, star defensive back from Iowa, about Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator. He said he doesn't want to give up an inch. Well, he just got a little bit more room to work with. Kim gets through the hole across the 20, picks up a couple there as DeJean does make the tackle. It'll be 3rd and long. And Cade McNamara, everybody in this building right now is just hoping for positive news, and that looks like anything but.
I can't imagine it's any good news. I mean, he's not putting any weight on his left leg at all, and they're taking him into the locker room now.
You've got to feel for the kid. Dealt with a season-ending injury last year, suffered in Michigan, comes over, you mentioned it, just 9 days into camp. He has the quad injury, just starting to find a rhythm on that first drive, and goes down just 2 plays into the second drive of the game.
Carr back in the game.
3rd and 14.
Middle screen.
Punt, Carr. He's going to have to survey through. He's tripped up across the 15, and Wampa delivers that final hit.
Michigan State with a good response, a chance to tie the ball game here. Noah Kim, nice job taking care of the football. The penalty really set him back. That's the thing that hurt. And coming into the game, Michigan State 30 penalties for 264 yards. And I mentioned the turnovers the last couple weeks and penalties really a part of their problem and lack of discipline that Harlan Barnett was talking about.
Jonathan Kim from 31 yards out, and we are even at 3 apiece. Michigan State does get the response. They get the stop on one end, drive down the field, tie the game. Late stages, first quarter. Big Ten Saturday Night is brought to you by Ford, built Ford proud, and by the Xfinity 10G Network, made for streaming live sports. Well, this is the 49th meeting between these two teams, a very even series. Iowa leads 24-22-2, but this one, a big one, 2015 Big Ten Championship, and Mark D'Antonio and the Spartans got the victory to get into the college football playoff, would eventually lose to Alabama that year, but a close, hard-fought game, and for Noah Kim in this offense, Malik Carr, they're just trying to find that rhythm, tie the game on that last drive, and now we'll go to the backup quarterback on the other side, Deacon Hill. And one other reminder, at the end of this first quarter, one of the coolest traditions in all of college football, we've got the Hawkeye Kinnick wave, where everybody in this stadium will turn to the Children's Hospital that overlooks Kinnick Stadium and will wave to the kids as they come to the window. I got a chance to experience it last year, Todd. It is goosebumps guaranteed.
Yeah.
It is GG, guaranteed goosebumps for you. And just one of the most awesome. You get to see the signs. You get to see every player. We talked to some players about it. They know how special it is.
Yeah, and it's cool because it impacts both sidelines.
Yeah.
Not just the Iowa sideline, but whoever's the visiting team as well.
All right, so Deacon Hill is in for the injured Cade McNamara quarterback. LeSean Williams is the running back, and they're going to hand it to him on first down. He is stuffed in the backfield again. Michigan State is getting home. This one, Simeon Barrow.
Well, again, now what Scotty Hazelton is going to say is with this backup quarterback, we're going to just load the box, and we're going to make him try to beat us. I mean, look, there's no deep coverage. Everybody around the line of scrimmage, there were 3 tight ends in, and Michigan State says, we have to see if this backup quarterback can do anything throwing the football. We're not going to let you just line up and run it and try to protect it.
Well, this Iowa team did face a Scotty Hazelton defense in 2017 when he was at Wyoming. Now 2nd and 13, first pass for Hills, another completion, right back to Vines, who nearly escaped on the spin move, but is dumped down to the 28.
Got it back into a manageable situation on 3rd down. Still kind of long yardage for this Iowa offense, but a very productive play for Brian Ferentz's offense on 2nd down, being behind the sticks. Again, staying on schedule is important for all teams, but paramount for an offense like Iowa.
And that was something that Michigan State defensive coordinator Scotty Hazelton mentioned as his #1 key. Get them off schedule. That's when you can affect the quarterback and do what you want. 3rd down and 7. Hill lets it fly. Incomplete. His receiver, Eric All, slipped. And it will be 4th down.
Yeah, pretty good anticipation by Deacon Hill, and you can see the arm strength. Eric All just slips, getting out of his break, and right there doesn't have a chance to make a play on the ball. And the corner, Dylan Tatum, if he'd have been looking, he might have had an interception.
Michigan State coaching staff said Tatum is their best cornerback, and now Deacon Hill's going to have to learn on the fly. He redshirted in 2021 at Wisconsin. Didn't see much playing time as Torrey Taylor's 2nd punt of the day goes deep with a fair catch by Henry, made at the 25 for a 47-yard boot. So he redshirted the first year, didn't play a ton last year, and as mentioned, he's trying to learn on the fly as he transferred in this past spring. Let's go downstairs to Catherine Tappan.
Well, Noah, just some more on the Kenneck wave. Jay Higgins told me we lose sight of what's really important. So many more serious problems going on, and we're truly blessed to play football. That's what he notices when this wave happens. And opposing teams, as Todd mentioned, they know about this tradition. Noah Kim told us it puts everything in perspective. To be able to put a smile on their faces when we wave while we're playing the game of football, it's rewarding.
We talked to some of the players from the Iowa side. They literally said, this is a direct quote, we would do anything for those kids. And you believe it. It's genuine. Another completion to Carr.
Yeah, Iowa's got to figure something else out. Now, they've not given up the big pass, but every completion so far by Noah Kim, who is 6 for 6, has been to Malik Carr. And Iowa knew it and knew that he was a problem. And see, the problem is they play mostly zone. They don't play man coverage. And right now, Carr doing a nice job finding some openings in the zone.
He already has a career high in receptions with 6 of them. But the key here, and we talked to both coaches, they knew this on Iowa's side that this was going to happen because it did last week with Drew Aller. And Michigan State knew that they had to do this, take what the defense gave them. And Noah Kim right now is given every single underneath route a major chance on his first look.
Jay Johnson said it's important to be good, but most important to be patient in our pass game.
Nate Carr gets the first down on that second down scamper, just shy of the 40. So now, after Cade McNamara went into the tent, Malik Carr, the star on the other side, Malik the Freak, goes into the tent for Michigan State.
Some other guys have to step up. Number 15, Jerron Glover, has been kind of a go-to guy here early in the season. Only 1 catch all of last year. Coming into today, 9 for 203 yards.
Play action. This one's going to go to Trey Mosley, today's captain and the OG of this wide receiver room. Picks up another 5.
I mentioned how Iowa is pretty much predominantly a zone defensive team. They're not a blitz team. They will play some man, but they limit big plays. They tackle extremely well, and they're very solid on 3rd down and keeping teams out of the end zone. The one thing they've not done as well this year as last year is take the ball away.
Carter on the delayed handoff. First down and more inside Iowa territory, spilled out across the 45.
I like it. I really like the play call. Watch the tight end now come around and get a nice block on Jackson. Nick Jackson, number 10, the transfer from Virginia. He's there, but it's a really nice block at the point of attack by Evan Morris. And the 3rd down run call by Jay Johnson worked perfectly.
Carter 4th in the Big Ten in rush yards per game at over 92. That one for 13. First quarter coming to a close here. Will they get off a play? They will not. So that'll lead us to one of the coolest traditions in all of college football.
It's time for the best tradition in college sports. Our song was selected by our kid captain, Wyatt. Now let's send our support and encouragement to the kids and their families watching the game.
Final day of the Ryder Cup is tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Can the U.S. pull off, and I mean a historic comeback? They've got the ability to do so. Their captain, Zach Johnson, actually an Iowa native, Childhood Golf Course, Elmcrest Country Club in Cedar Rapids. The United States needs 14 points to retain the title. Right now they're way behind, 10.5 to 5.5. But Todd, I don't know if you've been following this. They've got Hatgate in Rome right now. Patrick Cantley with some clutch birdie putts in the final 3 holes as that carry goes up the gut for a couple of yards, and Jalen Barbarin picks it up. There's Malik Carr out of the tent. That's a good sight for Michigan State.
It's a good sight, but he doesn't have his helmet on, and that's not a great sight. You know, we made this point before the break in the first quarter. Noah Kim and Jay Johnson saying, we've got to be good in our passing game, but most importantly, we have to be patient because Iowa doesn't give up big plays, and we can't get bored taking the hitches and taking the easy throws. And so far, he's done a great job of that, 7 for 7.
Go to the air on 2nd and 9, right back to Mosley. Gets across the edge and then dragged out of bounds. It'll set up 3rd and 5. Nick Jackson with a nice job in pursuit to make the tackle.
Coming into the game, Michigan State, not too bad, 41% conversion on 3rd down. Iowa a little higher than they normally are, 37% giving up. And Phil Parker said one of the things they had to be better at is we got to be a little bit better on 3rd down, a little bit better in the red zone. Big opportunity here on 3rd, about 4.
Get Harold Joyner in at the running back spot on 3rd and 4. And now Carter, no, Kim keeps it himself, doesn't have any running room, he's taken down. Picks up 2, needed 4, and it's 4th down.
Really nice play by this safety, Quinn Schulte, because he's going to have, right here, Schulte, watch him maintain leverage on the outside and not let Kim turn the corner. Schulte gets outside, forces him back in, and Jay Higgins makes the tackle.
4th and 2, they're going to go for it. Last week, Michigan State went 3 for 4 on 4th down after they went 0 for 3 in their first couple of games of the season. This one, 4th and 2.
I think they got a free one. I think they got the free 1st down.
Kim lobs it, sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Glover, but the flag did come in, and Kim recognized it on the free play.
Yeah, it was right over the ball. Y.A. Black, I think, number 94, and you tell these guys right here, just watch the ball. Don't listen to the quarterback's voice. No, it wasn't him. It was Logan Lee on the other side that got into the neutral zone.
Offside. Defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Results in a 1st down.
Really nice job by Noah Kim using the snap count there to get a free play. And then he made a nice throw, gave his guy a chance to make a play down the field, knowing he already had the 1st down conversion.
Todd, we got to remind everybody, this is the first road game of the season for Michigan State, and it's a hostile environment. Kinnick is not an easy place to play. This is a blackout game. Everybody is decked out and energized for it. Noah Kim has just started 8 for 8 and gets the 1st down. That one, oh, he just threw it right past his intended target, Tyrell Henry, and Cooper DeJean was lurking in the shadows.
You know, but we made the point at the top of the show, and Harlan Barnett echoed this when we talked to him, that going on the road can be very unifying. Get away from the noise, get away from the distractions. You're on the flight together, you're in the hotel together, you go to a movie together, you eat your meals together, and it can really be good for your team bonding. And a lot of times you come closer together on the road than you do on the home game.
We asked Nate Carter about this team's camaraderie. His description, constantly growing and only getting stronger. 2nd and 10, play clock under 5. And they just get it off in time. Kim delivers complete on a slant. This one, a Montori Foster to pick up 8. Let's go downstairs to KT with an injury update.
Well, we saw Malik Carr with his right cleat off in the tent. He was trying to walk it out with some tape around it when he got back out of the tent. He had been testing it out, but has since left the field on his own will to go to the locker room, guys.
All right, appreciate it, KT. 10th play of the drive. A run up the middle is a 1st down. Nate Carter. Jay Higgins met him, and Carter dragged him forward for an extra 2 yards.
Really like the mix of run pass on 3rd down. That's the 2nd time they've run the football on a 3rd down situation, and Carter picks it up. And they went a little tempo that time too. Wanted to see if they could get a quick snap. And Carter shows that hard-nosed running ability.
He said he believes he combines old school with new school, already up to 400 yards in his first season with the Spartans after transferring from UConn. 1st down, play action. Kim looking towards the end zone, overthrows his intended target, Jalen Franklin, the tight end.
Now, Franklin is the backup tight end, and he's a big body as well. I saw him down on the field before the game, 6'5", 240 pounds. Here he is right here, number 19. He's just going to run a little skinny post. The ball just kind of sails, and part of that was the middle linebacker, Jay Higgins, number 34, was in the throwing lane, and the ball had to be high.
Todd, you mentioned it, this Iowa defense, always good in the red zone. They've struggled at times this year, especially last week against Penn State in the 31-0 loss. Kim around the edge, good blocking in front, and he'll gain 4.
Well, One of the things that Iowa defense the last several years has been great at is sacking the quarterback, pressure on the quarterback, and taking the ball away. And a lot of times they go hand in hand. And Phil Parker, for whatever reason, so far they've gotten off to a slow start. Only 3 sacks and 3 interceptions. I mean, 2 years ago, this team set a school record with 25 interceptions. So sometimes it's just the way the ball bounces, but they've not been able to come up with those critical plays.
Joyner the back, 3rd and 5. Kim through his progressions, flushed out, in trouble, gets rid of it, through the hands of his intended target. He put it in the direction of Evan Morris, but extreme pressure from Y.A. Black forced the errant throw.
Yeah, they got good pressure with a 4-man rush, and that means there's 7 in zone coverage, and Kim not able to get the ball out. And there the pressure came through for Iowa. Forced the throw early and results in a field goal opportunity for the Spartans.
So Kim already made from 31, this one from 32. Grad transfer from North Carolina. Career long of 52, he's got the leg. This one somewhat of a chip shot for him. And Kim just sneaks it in. So Michigan State with back-to-back field goals. They take their first lead of the night. Both teams coming off of tough losses. For Iowa at Penn State, for Michigan State home against Maryland, and the Spartans looking pretty strong to start this game. It's the premiere of Found. This search for missing people goes way deeper with a mind-blowing twist. Found premieres Tuesday, 10/9 Central on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Well, the Iowa Old Capitol building right here. Great look with the flags draped right in front, and this fan base. You know, Kirk Ferentz mentioned that when he got here in 1981, they had had a number of losing seasons all in succession, and yet they had still packed Kinnick every single week. Just shows the education level and more so the passion that this Iowa Hawkeye fan base brings. Max White's going to take this out just shy of the goal line. Looking for a seam and is tripped up just across the 20-yard line. So now you've got an Iowa offense already struggling through the early portion of this season. Certainly last week shut out. You've got a backup quarterback, Deacon Hill, in with Cade McNamara hurt. If you're Brian Ferentz, offensive coordinator, what's your thought here?
Well, I think you got to go back to being as aggressive as you were with McNamara to start the game. I mean, you've got to roll the dice with Deacon Hill because Michigan State right now has no respect for what they can do throwing the football with their backup quarterback. They're loading up the line of scrimmage on first down, and early downs are when it's going to be easiest for him to make some completions.
A little empty on 1st and 10. Hill, quick delivery and a completion to the outside for Vines. Let's go down to Catherine.
Well, we showed you earlier Cade McNamara getting carted off the field. I can tell you he gave a thumbs up to the student section, but we're being told he has that lower body injury. His return is questionable. As for Deacon Hill, I just saw Brian Ferentz give him a pat on the shoulder pads, and he said, keep it loose out there.
All right, KT.
It's a great call right there on first down. You go a spread formation, you spread out the Michigan State defense, and he makes a nice throw. You can see the kid can throw the football. And the more he completes some, the more confident he'll be.
Williams back, they'll go play action on a bootleg, and Hill on the run, incomplete, looking for all.
I think he got a little greedy on that one. He had a receiver that could have got the football, 2 of them actually. Ruggiini, watch as he rolls out here, watch 89 flash, wide open, right there. If he throws it underneath the Ruggiini, that's an easy completion and a first down. Instead, he got a little greedy and went to all down the field, and now he's got to convert something on 3rd down.
It would be the first conversion of the day for Iowa, 3rd and 4. Hill with protection. Oh, nearly intercepted. He was looking in the direction of his tight end and Malik Spencer read it, jumped it, and knocked it loose.
Yeah, I mean, he just had eyes on the quarterback because they brought the corner blitz. And Spencer just read the quarterback's eyes, anticipating he was going to go for all, and left the underneath coverage and almost came away with an interception. It was a nice play by Spencer, reading the quarterback's eyes, leaving his coverage, and almost coming away with a huge play.
Well, Iowa's offense had 3 first downs early. Since then, 3 punts. And when you've got Torrey Taylor, it might not be the worst thing, as this one is returnable and has dumped out Tyrell Henry just shy of the 25. So Noah Kim and the Michigan State offense with a chance to add to their slim advantage here in the second quarter. Well, tight end Malik Carr is a weapon for Michigan State on the offensive side. He had 6 early catches in this game, but this was late first quarter. You see a shoe gets popped off. It was that right ankle, and he came right off the field after this. It just gets lined with it, and Cooper DeJean just kind of grabbed on a little extra. Carr comes off the field. He went into the tent, then he went back to the locker room, and then moments ago, back out on the field. Here he is live now on the sideline trying to encourage his teammates. He's got a towel in his hand, and you know, this is the question really, because what Noah Kim said, it's not just him as a receiving target. He has 6 of the 9 catches today, but it's how he takes attention off of everybody else in his offense.
He opens up not only the passing game for other guys, but the running game for Nate Carter as well.
Now it's going to be Jalen Berger, the Wisconsin transfer, in at running back on the delayed handoff. Got a nice seam by that offensive line. Picks up 3. Nick Jackson just drags him down.
Jay Johnson said he hoped that they were going to have a Jalen Berger sighting in the game tonight. He injured his ankle in the Richmond game and has not played the last 2 weeks, but he gives them a nice 2-back offense with he and Nate Carter and keeps both of them fresh. Don't know how many snaps he'll be available for, but good to see him out there if you're a Spartan fan.
Brings up 2nd down and 7. Berger had a productive year last year with nearly 700 yards on the ground. Got another handoff. This time it's sniffed out. He does end up getting positive yardage. Picks up 2, but Fisher on the stop.
Well, the Walmart play, look from above. Watch the leverage again. This fundamental defense. You know, if you've got the edge of the defense that you have to set, you can't let the ball carrier get outside. Beautiful job right there by Kyler Fisher, number 37, doing his job.
Iowa still ranks in the top 10 in yards allowed per play at just over 4. Still at just 17 points per game. This defense is the backbone of this team on 3rd and 4.
Blitz.
Kim lofts it, complete. Trey Mosley along the sideline, tiptoes out of bounds, just shy midfield.
Again, Iowa not a heavy blitz team. They brought pressure, which means man-to-man coverage. And Noah Kim knows he's got protection. Nice job by Nate Carter staying into the block and delivers a beautiful throw on the out route to Mosley. Good pickup on the blitz, good protection, and a nice throw for the 1st down.
Mosley now has at least 1 reception in 22 consecutive games. He is looked at as one of the leaders of that wide receiver room, one of the only mainstays as a receiver from last year's team. Sets up 1st down at the 49. Kim right back to the air. A dart to the outside is dropped by Foster.
Now remember, this Iowa defense last week gave up 31 points, 397 yards, no big plays. Penn State only averaged 4.1 yards per play, but this defense was on the field for 97 snaps. Okay, now we may not see the effect of that right now, but as this game goes on, that fatigue could be an issue.
2nd and 10, hand it off. Carter puts the head down. You see Jackson just try to punch that ball loose, but Carter so strong at 5'10", 200 pounds, keeps the rock in his grasp and picks up 4.
Penn State a week ago was 9 for 20 on 3rd down, which is a pretty good percentage with a freshman quarterback or a young quarterback against this defense. So far tonight, Michigan State 2 of 6. Big play right here for the Hawkeye defense.
This crowd just trying to get back engaged after the McNamara injury in the 1st quarter. 3rd and 6. Kim, design run. Kim breaks free for a 1st down. Just wiggled through before Wampa trips him up, but another conversion of 15 yards on the ground.
Again, great call by Jay Johnson, mixing the run plays on 3rd down. This is design quarterback keep all the way. You've got a lead blocker in Nate Carter. You've got a pulling guard or center, Nick Samac, on the play. And Noah Kim shows that athleticism in picking up the 1st down.
Something that this offense had been searching for more of. Kim using his legs. Now Carter around the outside. He'll pick up 13 more. Gets it to the red zone on a 1st down carry.
See, Michigan State last week against Maryland did a lot of good things on offense. They moved the ball, they ran it, they threw it, but they turned it over. They had 5 turnovers, and that was their undoing because 3 of those turnovers led directly to 21 points for Maryland. Tonight, they're moving the football, they're mixing run and pass, but more importantly, they're protecting the football against this Iowa defense.
Look out, Antonio Gates Jr. has been inserted into the game at the top of your screen. Matched up with Jamari Harris. Kim will go to the air on first down. Kim fires towards the end zone, overthrew it, and Cooper DeJean was there for the interception.
Last year, this guy had 5 interceptions, 3 of them he returned for touchdowns. He has eyes on the quarterback. He reads the football, and he makes his first interception of the season, and it couldn't have come at a better time. (6-3) Michigan State back here in Iowa City, but a huge play by this Iowa defense with the takeaway. And I want you to watch Cooper DeJean. Watch right here. Now look, right here, his eyes are all on the quarterback. And now he's just going to make a better play on the football than the receiver, Jerron Glover, does. He's a tremendous athlete, and he makes a huge play right there to stop a scoring drive.
Gives the ball back to Iowa. Play action now for Hill on first down. Right underneath for Eric All with a whole lot of room to run. All turning on the Jets and gets across midfield into Spartan territory. 32 on the catch and run, but a flag.
We're going to have 32, and we're going to have a roughing the passer at the end of the play, I believe, on Michigan State to tack on.
And Halliday heading towards the sideline for the Spartans.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 52. We'll add 15 yards to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Again, new quarterback. The best down to throw against this Michigan State defense is first down. And there's the hit late by Adelia. Unnecessary, and it tacks 15 more. And now Iowa in Michigan State territory again. Hadn't been there since the opening possession.
Well, the Spartan coaching staff said one thing was clear, and that is not a good sign to see a guy who means so much, the leading tackler from a year ago for this team, for Michigan State, going to the sideline. But they said one thing needs to happen. That means taking care of the football.
Yeah.
They had 5 turnovers last week, and this season, opponents have scored 42 of their 93 points against Michigan State off of turnovers. That's 45% of the points they've given up have come off of giving the football away.
Yeah, it's just, you know, and Harlan Barnett talks about, we talk to him and preach about value the ball. We got to value the ball. We got to value the ball. But the ball has not bounced kindly for this team. Some of it self-inflicted, bad decisions of where to throw it and bad time of when to throw it. Other times it's just been good plays by the defense.
Kamari Moulton, the freshman running back in there. Play action for Hill. Hill sets the feet, delivers, complete again.
Get the foot down.
Eric All goes upstairs, hauls it in. They're going to call it a catch.
I thought Deacon Hill waited too long. The throw was a little bit late because Eric All was open quickly. Does he get the 1 foot down? Oh, yeah. And he had a secure catch going to the ground in one hand.
Just palmed that football.
Yeah. I was afraid Deacon Hill was late on the throw because All ran a beautiful route and had separation, but they still got the completion.
So Hayden Large, the fullback, makes an appearance now on first down. I formation from Moulton.
13 personnel, 3 tight ends in the game, power.
Hand it to him, Moulton, and he's picked up immediately. Maybe gains 1 as Brule was among the first ones there.
Let's go back and look at this throw. Now, when you're rolling to your left, you got to get your hips and shoulders around, which he does. I just thought the throw was a little bit late getting there, but All makes an acrobatic catch on the sideline to bail out the quarterback, and a good play. And you can see this kid can throw it. And I like that Brian Ferentz has confidence to call the plays right now and put him in a good position.
Swing it right back to All. Get in the hands of your playmakers. All slips away, stays on his feet. All is in. Touchdown, Iowa.
Are you kidding?
How about that for your first career touchdown pass, Deacon Hill?
I mean, this is a throw at the line of scrimmage. This is not a throw down the field. And Eric All just does it all. I mean, and now he's helped by some poor tackling by Michigan State. But this is just Eric All being Eric All. Back-to-back catches. Outstanding effort by the transfer from Michigan. My goodness.
Barrow and Jordan Hall missed tackles. Extra point now coming for Drew Stevens to get this to a 4-point game, and he does.
And once again, the turnover that leads directly to points comes back and bites Michigan State again.
Well, Eric All said he decided to come to Iowa after seeing what Sam Laporta did a year ago, becoming a second-round pick. Well, with plays like this, that draft stock just skyrockets. Aerial coverage brought to you by Ford. Well, Eric All looking to join a long lineage of tight end excellence here at Iowa, and Brian Ferentz, offensive coordinator, so much scrutiny. The contract amendment where he has to average 25 points per game for this offense, win 7 games this season. A lot of talk and a lot of extra speculation, extra eyeballs on him. Excellent play calling on that last drive.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got trust in his new quarterback now, and with better field position, he was aggressive.
It helps when you have the security blanket, and Iowa has done it at the highest of levels. Dallas Clark, who banged the drum earlier today on our Big Ten Saturday Night College Countdown crew, George Kittle. And we're talking about, in the Kirk Ferentz era, 12 tight ends drafted. 12. Think about that number. He's been here 25 years, I understand that, but they churn him out, including those two who were teammates, Fant and TJ Hawkinson, the 2-time Pro Bowler now with Minnesota. Sam Laporta last year, a second-round pick by Detroit, who's having a stellar rookie campaign so far with the Lions, getting the victory on Thursday. And now Eric All hoping to join that long lineage, hoping to be the next tight end, along with Luke Lachey, who's ruled out for the season just a couple games ago, was still a captain who was met at midfield before this one. So Noah Kim back on the offensive side. They get it to Foster on first down and let him burst forward for 9.
A good, easy completion to get the quarterback back involved, back in the right mindset. I mean, there's no question with the Michigan State coaches that Noah Kim is their guy. I mean, they diffused any thought, even though they pulled him last week in the fourth quarter. I mean, he's the quarterback. He's our guy. We want him to feel confident. He's just got to take care of the football. He's got the 1 interception tonight, but he's also thrown the ball pretty well, 11 for 16.
And the relationship between Kim and Harlan Barnett has been as expected and hopeful so far. That's a great play made by Xavier Wampa. They swung it to Jalen Franklin. The tight end loses yardage as Wampa comes from the secondary.
Again, a lot of zone defense. Wampa right there, and they're sure tacklers. I mean, that's the thing about Iowa's defense. They're as good of a tackling football team as you're going to see.
Wampa, one of the more highly recruited players on this team. He was a 4-star. Normally you see mostly 3-stars that they develop over 3 to 4 years.
A lot of those guys start out as walk-ons too and become NFL players.
Deep drop, Kim slings it, incomplete.
Really nice throw.
And the flag does come in there as DeJean and Glover were matched up along the sideline.
It's a good throw by Kim. It was better coverage by DeJean, but let's see what the penalty is back in the offensive backfield.
Mark Klaczynski, our referee.
Holding. Offense number 53. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Left tackle Brandon Baldwin. I think he was working against Deontay Craig. You can see right over here on the left side of the screen. Yep, Deontay Craig, number 45. Phil Parker said the last 2 years he's been one of our most productive guys. Really solid pass rush that time. And now way behind the chains, Michigan State on second down and long.
This is an Iowa pass rush that lost Lucas Van Ness to the draft last year. Jack Campbell at middle linebacker. They also lost Noah Shannon, who was suspended to start the year. Play clock down to 1. Kim does get it off in time and just hands it off for Nate Carter. Not a whole lot of running room. Does get 2, but it sets up 3rd and 19.
Timeout. Iowa. 1 second of the half. 30-second timeout.
Now remember, Iowa won the toss. They elected to receive to start this game. They did get a field goal on the opening drive, but maybe hoping to put some more points on the board to build up that lead before sending it back to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kirk Ferentz probably feels pretty good about his backup quarterback right now and the decisions he's making and the accuracy that he's throwing the football with, and a chance to maybe put some more points on the board, even if it's just a field goal, with a stop here on third down. They've got one timeout left, and depending on what Michigan State does, they might burn that last timeout and then see what they can do with about 2 minutes left to go in the first half. I've got to believe Michigan State's going to run the football here and not try to throw on third and very long and make Iowa burn that last timeout.
Michigan State, 3 of their last 4 on third down. None of them were 3rd and 19, and doing it at the moment, at least, without Malik Carr, who would be that top weapon to go to, someone you can throw it in his vicinity, and he's going to go up and get it. Kim is 12 of 17, has the interception on the last possession. Play action on 3rd and 19. Kim with protection, just lofts it, complete, but not a whole lot of room for Fitzpatrick, who spun out of bounds shy of the 30. So 4th down here. They will punt it away and try to at least pin Iowa as deep as they possibly can. Phil Parker's defense getting it done as they always seem to do. Parker now in his 12th season as defensive coordinator here at Iowa. Replaced another guy with the same last name, but no relation. We were talking about that before, by the way, this week. That's insane.
Well, and the fact that they've both done such a great job,
exactly.
You thought they had to be related.
100%.
Norm Parker was originally on the staff with Kirk Ferentz, and now Phil Parker.
Eckley sends it deep to DeJean, who has had a couple of returns in his day, but will let this one bounce all the way to the 21. And that's where backup quarterback Deacon Hill and company will start this drive out to try to finish off the half on a bang. The Tonight Show returns this Monday with all new shows featuring guests Matthew McConaughey and John Mayer. Jimmy Fallon turns the Tonight back on Monday on NBC. The Engler Theater in downtown Iowa City. Great look at that. And they hooked us up with a nice view for everybody to see.
Well, Noah, since he's come in the game, Deacon Hill, 5 of 8, 74 yards and a touchdown. The good news also, the tight ends, 4 receptions, and the wide receivers, 4 receptions so far in the ball game for Iowa.
See if they can get that running game going a little bit. Not a whole lot to work with to this point. Just 10 yards so far on the ground. There will go, play action, dump it on a screen. Le'Shawn Williams looking to set up his blockers. And then Halliday breaks free, but so does Williams. He got through the tackle and then spun down across the 25 by Zion Young.
Yeah, good first down call. You want to see if you can make this first down in this 2-minute situation. It was really well played by Halliday, just not able to get him down on the ground with the initial contact. If Iowa can make the first down, then they might get a little more aggressive with the one-time outlet.
And surprisingly huddling here. Those first downs do at least pause the clock, so you can work a little bit from there. But a minute to play in the second quarter for Iowa. Hill on 2nd and 5 over the middle. It's tipped up. Oh, dangerous as Vines couldn't haul it in, and Malik Spencer lurking there in the area. And it will at least stop the clock, but it brings up 3rd down.
It was a really good read by Deacon Hill. He started out reading to the right and came back to the other side of the field, but this ball is just too high and hard. I mean, that's a hard catch from that distance coming across the middle.
Brian Ferentz, it's the drive for 325. They need to average 25 a game. They're at 21. A score here at the end of the half would do wonders. Here's a 3rd and 5 for Hill. Steps up in the pocket, unloads. Oh, it's dropped again by Vines. He put it on the money, and Vines just couldn't reel it in.
Now, the play before, I put on the quarterback. Too hard, too high. This one, I put on the receiver. That ball was right on the numbers, and that's a ball that Vines has to come down with. And if he does, Iowa can get really aggressive in their hurry-up and try to put points on the board. Instead, they got to turn the ball over to their weapon, Torrey Taylor.
Do you like the pass there on a 3rd and 5?
Yeah, I did. I like the aggressiveness that we're seeing out of Brian Ferentz in the play calling right now. They're not holding back with the backup quarterback.
Taylor will let it fly. Michigan State will have all 3 timeouts to work with as Henry lets it bounce out of bounds just in front of the 25-yard line. Coming up on the Xfinity 10G Network halftime report, we'll have the first half recap of everything that we've seen. Kate McNamara going down, Deacon Hill replacing him, leading a touchdown drive, plus top 10 and Big Ten scores and updates on some of the big games going on right now. Notre Dame and Duke, LSU and Ole Miss, and everything else from around the country. Maria, Joshua, Matt, they've got us covered, as always.
Oh, yeah.
Set's looking good upstairs today, but overview of the field, they get to see everything, and I think Ahmed's just looking for a seat over there. Either way, 36 seconds left here. You've got 3 timeouts. Do you be aggressive, or do you try to go in recognizing you're getting the football to start the third?
This first play will tell a big part of how aggressive they are.
Carter in at running back, and they will go to the air with Kim. Tries to get rid of it and does, but short for Carter. Kim took a shot at the end of the play, and will be helped up right away.
So now at this point, I don't think you were very aggressive. You're going to get the ball to start the second half. It's Logan Lee, number 85, who gets the early pressure. I think you run the football here, and you take your chances, regroup in the locker room. It's a 1-score game. You don't want to do anything silly here with the football.
They'll throw it again. Kim steps into one, complete.
Wow.
Montori Foster, first down.
Will they use one of their timeouts?
I don't think they have quite yet.
I thought they were
Timeout.
yeah,
And then they go.
that they were.
State,
Yeah.
Their first of the half.
The
30-second timeout.
players didn't know, but the sideline did. It was a nice throw to Foster.
And Todd, we talked about, obviously, the job search and everything with Mel Tucker's firing, but Harlan Barnett is somewhat auditioning to keep the job himself,
Absolutely.
and these are critical moments for him to prove that he's worthy moving forward.
Yeah, and I think that's been the biggest challenge for him, going from being a defensive assistant to now the acting head coach, is these kind of decisions, like what you do at this time of the game, in the end of the half or end of the game, they're your responsibility as a head coach. And the good thing for him, he does have Mark D'Antonio on the sideline. Even though Mark doesn't say a whole lot during the game, they talk during the week, they talk before the game, and he's been there, done that, you know, and he can help Harlan Barnett in that. But I think the more Harlan's in this situation, the more comfortable he will be at making those kind of decisions.
Fresh set of downs, nearing midfield. Kim, dump it. Carter's going to have to get away. He won't. Y.A. Black.
This is a great play by Black, reading the screen. I mean, he read it right away, disengaged from the offensive lineman. Here he is right here. Watch him read this screen immediately. Eyes in the backfield, sees it, disengages, and goes and makes the tackle for a loss of yardage play.
Jonathan Kim, kicker for Michigan State, career long earlier this year against Richmond of 52 yards. So to get in that range, you have to be at around the 34, 35 yard line. So a long way to go. They do have 1 timeout remaining, and we'll see what Noah Kim and more specifically offensive coordinator Jay Johnson elect to do with the football here.
And they're, again, without their best weapon and Malik Carr. And this is a team that wide receiver, they got some young talented guys. But this is a team that lost their best receiver from a year ago, Keon Coleman, who transferred to Florida State. Jaden Reed, one of their other top receivers, was a second-round draft pick by the Packers. So the guys that are playing right now are talented, but just very young. Other than Mosley, he's the only guy that's kind of a veteran in that group.
Jeremy Bernard also transferred to Washington. So a lot of production gone. Here's a 2nd and 15 with the quarter winding down. Kim, patient. Finds a connection. It's Montori Foster out of bounds and into Iowa territory.
Really good job by Noah Kim not panicking, because there was nothing there early, but he knew the protection was solid enough that he could wait and scan the field and find Foster on a late developing route.
And keep that timeout going out of bounds. 11 seconds left here in the second. Trying to get to around the 35. Carter says he believes he's a great route runner out of the backfield. Number 5 in white. Kim delivers. It's caught by Foster again. They're going to have to use that timeout with the clock rolling.
Yep. Really nice tackle by Jamari Harris.
Michigan State, their third and final charge timeout.
You know, Foster's going to try to fight to get out of bounds to save that timeout. And Harris does a beautiful job tackling him and making sure he's in the field of play.
Now you only have 4 seconds left, and if he kicked it from here, it would be about a 57-yard field goal. So it feels like decision time. Either you take your shot for the end zone or you kick it. And Foster now comes up a little gimpy after we saw Carter go out. Kim is out there, meaning I realize I now have to recognize between which Kim I'm talking about. Jonathan Kim, the kicker, is out there, and it looks like they're going to attempt what is going to end up being a 58-yard field goal. His career long earlier this year, 52 against Richmond. Grad transfer from UNC.
I'm surprised Iowa's not putting a guy back like Cooper DeJean to see if they could return it if it's short. They have everybody up around the ball.
Iowa does have a timeout. They won't use it. Kim from 58 yards away.
Oh my goodness.
He drills it.
What a kick.
Jonathan Kim. Incredible.
That was the Kim show. Noah Kim with a couple big-time completions to get him in range. And then Jonathan Kim just drills this from 58. And it wasn't even close. Beautifully executed 2-minute drive, use of the timeouts, and draw within 1.
He had plenty of leg as we go downstairs to Catherine.
Coach, Cade McNamara left this game with an injury. Do you have any update on his status?
No, I don't think it's anything good, so, we're just going to have to keep playing.
What did you tell Deacon Hill when he went into the game, and how would you grade his performance so far?
He played last week as well, and he's practiced a lot, so, you just got to play. Everybody else has to rally around him. We can help him if we get some run game started.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That feels like one of the big keys. That's something that both Kirk and Brian Ferentz had talked about, was they didn't have many of the run game from last year that they had last week. Really struggled as well, and so if they can get that going, it could be the difference as they lead by 1 at the half.
This first half recap brought to you by Geico.
I'm on a mission now. No, you can't stop me now. I keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now. I'm on a mission now. I'm on a mission now. I'm gonna crank it loud. They keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now.
It's easy to Geico.
I'm on a mission now.
Iowa leads Michigan State 10-9 after the first half. It will be the Spartans to receive this kick and a chance to go back in front. A lot has happened in this game. I know it's not maybe a ton of scoring, but there's been a lot of action, and that includes the injuries, most specifically to Cade McNamara, starting quarterback for Iowa.
Yeah, such a shame to see. You know, he was off to a good start and a fresh start here at Iowa, and you just hope he can make it back before the end of this year. And you know, on the Michigan State side, this is clearly, to me, the best that they have looked and played in the last 3 weeks, right? They outgained Iowa. They held them to 10 yards rushing on 8 carries. But 2 areas that they've got to do better in the second half. They want to win. They had the turnover that led to 7 points, and they had 2 trips into the Iowa red zone and had to settle for field goals both times. That's why they only have 9 points, and they find themselves behind by 1 here to start the third quarter.
To your point, they lost by a combined score of 72-16 the last 2 weeks. Fair catch made by Henry as we go down to KT.
Yeah, and you talk about that Michigan State offense, guys. They're going to have to go the rest of the way without one of their leading threats on offense, tight end Malik Carr. Harlan Barnett just told me he is out for the remainder of this game with a right foot injury, and he said Malik is a huge part of our offense. That means that other tight ends are going to have to step up and play. It's an opportunity for someone else to perform. He said he told his team to keep playing the way they're playing. He said, we've had the opportunities to make plays. We've made them. Now keep making them, and be sure to eliminate the penalties.
Well, the 2 tight ends that would be thrust into that spotlight, Jalen Franklin and Evan Morris, and Morris is in there on first down. As is Nate Carter. He's got the handoff, finds the hole, and just dives forward for 5.
Carter, that's his 9th carry of the ball game, and I think they're going to have to lean on him even more here in the second half. You know, he's a guy I think that runs extremely hard, gets better as the game goes on. And I think he can be a factor for the Spartans here in the second half.
Stays in there on 2nd down and 6. Delayed handoff, Carter on the misdirection. Looking for the outside, he's found it. Finds the edge across the 35 and spilled out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Well, you see the speed here, because normally this Iowa defense does a good job of maintaining contain, but they kind of underestimated the quickness and the speed of Carter, and that time he turned the corner on this Iowa defense and picked up the first down.
And Harlan Barnett mentioned that it will be the tight ends who need to step up. Jalen Franklin with a really impressive block on that last play to spring Carter. First down, Kim back to the air on the slant, knocked down at the line. Dangerous throw. Y.A. Black, Joe Evans, both in the area, and Black with more pressure in the backfield.
Yeah, again, this Iowa defense, they all have eyes on the quarterback. That's not just DBs, that's defensive linemen. You can see Black, number 94, knows he's not going to get there to get a sack, but he times the jump and gets that left hand up and knocks the pass down.
Black has been active today, the junior from Marshall, Minnesota. Last year, just 11 tackles, but thrust into more playing time with a suspension of Noah Shannon this year. Kim flushed out immediately, fires on the run. Another first down completion to Montori Foster out of bounds.
Yeah, he's got a good thing going here with Foster. Another nice route by Montori Foster, working against DeJean on the wide side of the field. It's kind of a sprint action that way. It's a good route. There's a cushion, and the ball is delivered in the right spot to the outside for the nice catch. Foster's a guy who didn't start playing high school football till he was a senior. He's a basketball guy.
Fake it to Berger. Kim with all sorts of time. It's intercepted. Threw it across the field, and it's taken away for the second time. This one into the arms of Sebastian Castro.
Well, there was a blitz. It was Kyler Fisher coming on the blitz. Now watch 37. He's picked up by Berger, but he gets enough in the way of the quarterback. The ball is underthrown. That ball has to be thrown out to the sideline. But the pressure in Kim's face, it was an underthrown ball to the inside, and well played by Sebastian Castro. He had a pick six that was huge in the win at Iowa State. And Phil Parker said he's been playing great football for their defense.
Back-to-back weeks now for Noah Kim with 2 interceptions. And now Le'Shawn Williams, he loses the football. Michigan State has it. Halliday going the other way. He's got space. Halliday is going to score. Touchdown, Michigan State.
I think it was Adelia who knocks the ball out, number 52. And it pops right up to Halliday. So back-to-back turnovers, and this one, Michigan State turns into a score. Watch number 52 just punch the ball out right there. The ball's out. It goes right into the stomach of Halliday. Wow, what a turn of events.
I'm not sure there's a better right place, right time than that. Literally, that ball was ejected directly into his chest. And the straight line to the end zone. Now the extra point from Jonathan Kim, who set a new Kinnick Stadium record with a 58-yard field goal to finish the first half, extends the lead to 6.
Love talking to the Michigan State coaches about Halliday. Said he hated the game against Washington because they threw the ball so much. He was built for a game like this. Physical, hard-nosed, run game. And that time he's the beneficiary of some active defensive linemen who popped the ball out. And he does the rest.
Todd, both these teams coming in had a -4 turnover margin. And now Iowa's defense has intercepted Noah Kim twice. But Michigan State's defense comes up with the biggest play of the day on the fumble recovery and score from Cal Halliday. And what was the first thing that both coaches told us in the keys to the game? Take care of the football and take advantage of the takeaways.
Yep. Well, both teams have taken advantage of it, right? I mean, Iowa took advantage of the turnover in the first half and turned it into 7 points. And Michigan State just did the same thing.
So Iowa's offense will get it right back.
Now, one of the issues for Iowa, you almost have to go back with LeSean Williams because you've got 2 running backs injured that would normally be part of your rotation. They've got Kamari Moulton, but he's a freshman. So they're limited at where they go at running back, and you've got to kind of trust that that guy's going to be okay. They're going to put Moulton in the game right now, number 28, but he is a smaller back than LeSean Williams.
Caleb Johnson, the sophomore, dealing with an ankle injury. Jazzian Patterson, the redshirt freshman, with a lower body injury. They're hoping to get at least one of them back for next week against Purdue, and hopefully for 2 weeks from now in Madison. But it will be, as mentioned, Moulton, another freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Originally planned to play at FAU. Fake the pitch. Throw on the run. Another completion for Hill. A catch and run. Steven Stylianos, one of the tight ends, replacing the injured Luke Lachey with a first down catch and run.
Yeah, I really like it. I like the first down play action passing. Those are the best downs for Deacon Hill to get open spaces to throw. Another good call by Brian Ferentz there on first down. They've not run the ball well, but at this point, if you throw well on early downs, you can set your run up. And pass to run here as this game goes on.
Moulton will stay in there. If you're just joining us, Cade McNamara injured on the second series of the game as starting quarterback for Iowa, as Hill hands it off, and there is Moulton slippery up the middle, and Cal Halliday finally gets him down.
One of the best runs we've seen from this Iowa offense so far in the game. And again, set up by the nice play action pass on first down. Got 2 tight ends in. You got a nice double team by the left guard and the left tackle. And they open a nice space there for Moulton.
Meanwhile for Hill, 7 of 12, 94 yards and a touchdown, and replacing McNamara. He's looked poised for somebody who's still fresh to the program, as we saw LeSean Williams on the sideline after the fumble. They'll stick with Moulton, hand it to him on the outside. Moulton finds the hole, first down into Michigan State territory.
Really great job by the center, Logan Jones, number 65. He pulls out on this play. Watch number 65 get out in front of this play and get a seal block to allow Moulton to get around the corner. It's an athletic play by the center. Nice block and a nice run again by Moulton.
That's the longest rush of the game for Iowa. Goes for 7 yards. Moulton now up to 18. Get the fullback in there, Hayden Large. Play action. Hill with time. Dials up a deep ball down the middle. Incomplete. Anderson was streaking there and into double coverage. There's a flag down as Spencer was in the area.
Yeah, Hill's pretty lucky that he didn't throw that ball close to the receiver, because there were 2 defenders there. The safety, Spencer, was behind the play. See what the penalty is.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 8. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's Simeon Barrow, their best defensive lineman. Ball clearly gone. Well, they're going to protect the quarterbacks. I don't know. That one was close. He was trying to help him up after the play. That's a big man. Kind of iffy on that call, but it sure does hurt Michigan State, giving them a new set of downs.
I think Reggie Smith agrees with you. Just looking at him in our monitor, says that could absolutely go either way, touch and go, but it extends it now. First down, just shy of the 30. Hill, wobbly, intercepted. Another turnover on either side. This time Angelo Gross reads it, takes it away. Michigan State ball.
Yeah, Angelo Gross had a big interception last week off of Talia Tagovailoa, and he does the same thing here. He's playing the safety position, number 15. There he is right here. Watch him read the quarterback and jump the route. The ball was in the air for a long time. It was wobbly. And for the second week in a row, Angelo Gross with a huge takeaway. Barrow right here, number 8. He just got called for the roughing the passer. Now he creates an interception. He hits the quarterback's arm, pushes Jennings Dunker, the right tackle, back, and makes a huge play.
Now they'll run it on first down. Carter tripped up, loses one. Still feels like Michigan State is going to need to find a way to get Carter a little bit more involved. We expected him to have a bigger role than what we've seen so far.
Well, I mean, now look, this is not an easy team to run against, and you got to be patient with it and not give up on the run. But especially without Malik Carter has to play a big role in your offense for the rest of this game.
Still averaging 6 yards a carry. It's just, he can be so explosive and break one loose at any time. Kim rolls, fires, and just throws it away.
Yeah, good coverage and a good decision by Noah Kim. He's under pressure from Deontay Craig.
No foul.
He's outside the tackle box.
The passer was outside the pocket. The pass crossed the line of scrimmage. Third down.
Clearly allowed to throw the ball away like that if you're outside the tackle box, and as long as the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, and it did both of those things. Chance for the Iowa defense to get a 3-and-out here on 3rd and 10. Montori Foster has been kind of the go-to guy in critical situations. Number 83. Here he is right here down at the bottom.
Play clock under 5.
They didn't get it off.
They give it to him anyway. Over the middle, Kim.
No, they
no,
didn't
they
get
did.
it off. They threw the flag, and the back judge is the guy watching the play clock. And he usually will give them about a half a beat after the clock ends.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
You could see up front that Iowa defense pointing to it demonstratively here. Look at number 34 in black, Jay Higgins.
Yeah, he wants the call, and right here the official, he's watching the play clock. And again, he gives about an extra half a beat, but that was clearly late and the right call.
You're on at 3rd and 15 as a result. Delayed handoff. Carter makes one-man miss. Carter dragging tacklers. He got it. Nate Carter, the ferocity and the tenacity to move the sticks.
And Michigan State is just conceding the down. They're calling a draw on 3rd and 15, conceding the down, and a missed tackle right at the point of attack by Ethan Herkin, number 49. He's unblocked. He overruns the play. And all of a sudden, Nate Carter turns it into a 1st down.
They are going to have to look at this spot because it was bang,
Rolling
bang.
on the previous play as the runner made the line to gain for a 1st down. The play's under further review.
Key in all of this, again, is where was the ball? We will take a couple looks at it as they look at it when we return. So they're looking at this right here with Nate Carter.
After review, the runner's knee was down with the ball short of the line to gain. 4th down.
And that was the call. It did look like the knee came down. So we're going to bring in Reggie Smith, our rules analyst for tonight. Reggie, just take us through exactly what you see on this play.
Well, the ball carrier's right knee is down, and the knee is down just beyond the big stripe there.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down. Less than a yard. Iowa preparing for a QB sneak. And they're going to push it. Kim looks like he stopped. Iowa really pushing it back.
Really close. Now remember, Noah Kim is not very big. He's 6'2", but only 185 pounds. And he did not get a lot of push on that. Now they didn't need a lot. But this is going to be close and worth a measurement.
And the fans rejoicing. It doesn't look like he got there initially.
Evan Morris is going to try to push from behind. But look, there's 3 defenders right there at the point of attack. And the middle linebacker, Jay Higgins, does a nice job of coming over the top and making contact with Noah Kim.
But what about the decision to go for it here
Rolling
on
on
4th
the
down and
previous
less
play
than a
as
yard?
the runner was short of the line to gain. The play is under further review.
You have a 6-point lead in this game. Your defense has already gotten 2 takeaways on the Iowa offense in this 3rd quarter, and yet you go for it deep in your own territory, your own 30-yard line on 4th and 1.
Watch right there, the middle linebacker made the play. They had 2 guys at submarine, and then over the top came Jay Higgins, and it was a risky gambling type call we talked about, and he also bobbled the football. That might have kept him from really getting the push he needed. Boy.
Defensive coordinator Phil Parker in the background celebrating, and right as he saw that bobble on the snap. All right, Reggie, we saw the knee down from Nate Carter on the previous play. Now what do you see on this QB sneak from Noah Kim?
Well, again, not seeing a whole lot of indisputable evidence to overturn the ruling on the field. Just as in the last play, replay was able to piece together with multiple angles, the knee being down and the ball being short of the line to gain. Here we've got a mass of humanity, and in the absence of being able to see the ball break the plane of the line to gain, the ruling on the field should stand here.
Reggie, I don't even think the helmet of the ball carrier broke the plane, let alone the football. I mean, I just think that Iowa stonewalled him on that play. We talked about Harlan Barnett being in this
After
seat
review,
now.
the ruling on the field stands. First down, Iowa.
Now, if I'm Iowa and Brian Ferentz, I know your new quarterback has thrown a couple picks, but I'm aggressive here. I mean, this is a huge momentum shift and swing in the game. And you got a chance to maybe strike while the getting's good right here. You're down 6, but you're deep in Michigan State territory.
Best starting field position of the day for this Iowa offense. And Cade McNamara, they said the leadership he's brought, the experience of being on a great team, the work ethic, it has permeated through the team. You can see him on the sideline cheering on his backup. Handed off on first down, Moulton. He scampers ahead for maybe 4.
Well, remember, we have not seen Le'Shawn Williams back in the game since his fumble. And they're going with Kamari Moulton right now. He's got some quickness and some burst. He's run the football pretty well. Nice gain of 5 right there.
Second and 7 at the 27.
Maybe not quite 5.
It depends. Maybe the metric system. Second down and 7. Williams stays on the sideline. Play action. Hill. A lot of time. Dump it down. Not a whole lot of room to work with. It was a completion to Steven Stylianos. But now third down upcoming as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, really good defense by Michigan State right there, because Eric All was the deep intended route. He was well covered. And Deacon Hill had to dump it down low, and a nice tackle by Aaron Boulay, bringing up third down.
Todd, Iowa is 0 for 5 on third down tonight.
You got to believe Eric All is got to be an intended target here. He's the tight end down at the bottom.
3rd and 6. Feeling the pressure. Hill gets dumped. Immediate pressure from Chester Kimbrough.
All right, now I think this is a mistake by the running back. It's Terrell Washington. Here's the pressure coming here. Washington's eyes are over here, and he never sees the blitz. This should have been picked up if the running back has his head on a swivel and Deacon Hill can't do anything about it. A well-timed pressure by Scotty Hazelton, aided by the fact that another freshman running back blew his assignment.
So that'll be Drew Stevens from 53 yards out. He added nearly 30 pounds of muscle for this exact reason, and you show off the leg. Stevens from 53 gets this to within 3. Tremendous work for Stevens, and they capitalize off the turnover on downs. Big Ten Saturday Night is brought to you by Genesis Motors America. I don't know if that's technically a full moon or not. I'm not real good about the waxing crescent and the waning crescent and what exactly that is, but even from our vantage point, that's impressive.
That's full to me. I mean, I would call that a full moon every day.
And how about the shot that we're getting? Chuck D is hooking us up. That is high definition of one of the most amazing spectacles of the world. Speaking of, Kinnick Stadium is ready to explode at some point. They're just looking for one of those plays to completely turn the tide of the game. They thought they had it on the 4th down stop, but Iowa had to settle for the field goal and bring this to a 3-point game, bringing back out Noah Kim, starting quarterback who has thrown a couple of interceptions, could not get the push on the 4th and 1 on the QB sneak. And now this offense needs to refine some of that confidence they had to start the game.
Yeah, and again, I think, okay, you don't have Malik Carr, but you do have Nate Carter, who's at 74 yards on 11 carries right now. Noah Kim has the 2 interceptions. same as he had a week ago against Maryland, but I do think he's playing better and more in control tonight than he did a week ago.
Kim, quick drop and quick delivery for another completion out of bounds. Glover.
Again, what did Jay Johnson said? Don't get bored throwing the hitches of the outs. If they give you off coverage and it's zone, just take those throws. There's Jay right there. He's done a pretty nice job calling this game. He respects Phil Parker and his Iowa defense. He's competed against them a number of times. He tried to stretch to his quarterbacks. Be patient with the pass game.
Second one. Kim's going to keep, and he's got some good room to work with. Little juke move across the 40.
Now, this is something that Noah Kim can do. I mean, he's athletic. He's got quick feet. He's not real big, but he's a good runner. He's got quick feet. He's got the ability to make one guy miss. A nice first down for Michigan State.
Kim, little trickeration, another one on the reverse to Brown, and it is sniffed out. Iowa sees it immediately. Flag is down as Schulte goes low for the tackle.
Well, the penalty was on the guy trying to block Schulte. He blocked him in the back. It didn't change the play. Schulte stayed right at home. Very smart defender. His dad was his high school coach. His brother played here at Iowa. And he was just in perfect position to defend that play and got blocked in the back on his way to the tackle.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 15. Penalty is declined. Second down.
Ron Glover called for it, and Schulte, another one of those former walk-ons that you had mentioned earlier in the game.
Yeah, Schulte just, again, perfect position, perfect form tackle, and the block in the back did nothing to deter him from being on the right course to the ball carrier.
So the play loses 8. Sets up second down and 18.
Jalen Berger in the ball game now instead of Nate Carter, getting some reps out of him.
Hand it to him. Berger, patient, and he just plunges forward to the 39. And now it's 3rd and long again. And the last time on the last drive it was 3rd and 15. It was a delayed handoff to Carter. It looked initially like he got the first down. He comes up a yard short, and they eventually go for it on 4th and 1 and don't get it on the QB sneak. Now it's 3rd and 14. How aggressive will they be?
Well, I think they will be aggressive. I think they'll throw it on this time and just tell Noah Kim, if it's not there, throw it away and let's punt. There's a lot of football left in this game.
Kim with time, pumps, pulls it down. Kim throws it away. Berger was the man in the area to avoid any sort of intentional grounding, and Higgins the man in coverage.
Well, Phil Parker had his zone defense in great position. Actually, they're running a little bit man here. Might have fooled Noah Kim. Tight man coverage. Noah Kim's trying to read the right side of the formation. There's nothing there. Excellent coverage all over the field. He does the right thing. Throw it away, punt the football. We're still in the 3rd quarter. Don't force the ball into a trouble.
Another punt for Ryan Eckley, and he will send it away to one of the most dangerous players on the field. Cooper DeJean already with an interception today. Call for the fair catch and make it at the 10.
Beautiful punt. My goodness.
51 yards from Ryan Eckley, who's had himself a stellar day to this point.
For a look from above, brought to you by Walmart Plus. It's the Michigan State defense. They've done a little bit of everything. They've forced a couple turnovers. This one resulted in a defensive touchdown by Halliday, and then Simeon Barrow, who was part of that fumble cause, this time caused an interception, getting the quarterback, hitting his arm in the last defensive possession. A well-timed blitz off the slot, brought the quarterback down, forced a field goal attempt. So the Michigan State defense has held Iowa to 156 total yards in the game. Pretty impressive showing here so far.
And now Iowa still has yet to send LeSean Williams back out there since the fumble. So this will be a first down handoff to Terrell Washington before he's met by Derek Harmon.
And remember, Washington was the back that was on the field during that blitz we just showed, who did not pick up the right assignment.
And right on cue, LeSean Williams back in the game. Heard a lot about his progress during the offseason. Worked out with former Iowa running back Tyler Goodson, now with the Indianapolis Colts. We'll This is a season that he felt he could take a step forward, already nearing 200 yards. 2nd and 7. Play action for Hill. Keeping him on the move. He's hit as he throws out of bounds in the direction of Ragaini.
A nice job by Zion Young, number 9. He was actually being blocked by Eric Hall, and I really thought the quarterback was going to pull up instead of continuing to take this to the outside. Watch, right here, Eric Hall is going to get a block, and Deacon Hill could have pulled up and avoided that hit and tried to throw from behind the block, but he ran right into it, and it was a nice play by Zion Young. Eric Hall's been kind of quiet after the fast start. Only 3 catches, and most of those came real early on.
Yeah, that electric touchdown towards the end of the first half. The only offensive touchdown of the day for both teams. And now a handoff on 3rd down and 7 is going nowhere. And the crowd not happy as LeSean Williams was bottled up after a gain of 1.
Well, I know the crowd's not happy, but here's the reality. It's a 3-point game. You've got a great punter and a really good defense. And this game is going to go all the way to the end. So you're playing field position. You're playing the percentages here a little bit. And you're going to lean on your defense instead of your backup quarterback until you have better field position and you can be a little bit more aggressive.
And again, Tory Taylor, the punter from Australia, one of the best in the country. Let's see what he has here. Tyrell Henry is back deep. Not a great one, and it doesn't get a great bounce either.
No, it hit an Iowa player and didn't get a chance to get anything out of the bounce. And they had that happen last week against Penn State, and it cost him a turnover.
Time for a game break. Here's Ahmed Fareed.
Thanks, Noah. I've got an update from Oxford, LSU, Ole Miss. Only 5 punts total in this game. This one was crazy. Ole Miss scores with 39 seconds left. Final seconds, Jaden Daniels cannot find an open receiver in the back of the end zone. Ole Miss with 711 total yards on offense, the most LSU has ever given up in a game in their history. 55-49, the final score. Noah?
And they stormed the field there at Ole Miss.
7-11. That's one shy of what Michigan State gave up to Washington a couple of weeks ago. 7-12. Much better defensive performance tonight for the Spartans.
They've been strong, but this is good starting field position now for their offense, and we'll see if they can leave a dent on this Iowa defense. Nate Carter weaving his way. That's a good start. Picks up 8.
Again, we made this point earlier. Last week at Happy Valley in a night game, this defense was on the field for 97 plays. They didn't get back from their trip till about 3 in the morning, so it took a while to recover. Michigan State has run 53 plays right now, and we're still in the 3rd quarter. So you figure at some point in the 4th quarter, that's going to have an effect on this Iowa defense. They don't sub a whole lot.
And Iowa forced another turnover. 2 interceptions off of Noah King. One from DeJean, one from Castro. 2nd and 2. Back to Carter. And he puts the head down. Now bursts free. Carter spun down. He runs so hard across the 25, or rather the 35, as DeJean does go down low to get him.
The thing that I like about him is he's the kind of back that if a play is blocked to gain 3 yards, he can turn it into 5, 6, or 7 yards because of how hard he runs. And he told us, he likes to consider himself a combo of old school and creativity. He loves Josh Jacobs as a runner, the old school, and Christian McCaffrey as the versatility back.
See some of that hybrid. First down. Feed the hot hand. Stutter step. Just, you see the legs keep churning, even when he's bottled up. But Nate Carter's so strong, especially downstairs. This is a 600-pound squat. 600. I don't care that he's holding whatever he is in front of him. That's 600 pounds that he's doing seemingly with ease.
I mean, that reminds me from a running back perspective of like a Nick Chubb, and seeing him do that kind of thing. And hopefully he can make a recovery back from his injury. What a great player he is.
Those Nick Chubb videos, by the way, where the bar is literally bent.
Yes, bent.
2nd down and 6. Carter tripped up. Nice play to come up. Castro had the interception earlier in the quarter, and it's 3rd down.
Castro timed that up perfect. Came from his safety position. These Iowa safeties are typically pretty close to the line of scrimmage. They're very involved in their run defensive scheme. And Castro did a nice job there forcing a 3rd down play. Obviously, they're within field goal range right now based on what we've already seen.
Jonathan Kim hit from 58 to end the first half. And a flag is down. This is going to move backward.
Offense number 19, 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
So that gets it to the 33. That makes a field goal about 51 yards, and it also potentially changes the play call from 34 to 39.
Well, it definitely changes the play call. I mean, they got the backup tight end, Jalen Franklin, on the penalty. There's the movement right there.
That is ever so slight.
Yeah, it is, but it's a penalty, and you're right about the play call. Now Noah Kim saying, look, let's at least get back into field goal range. If we can get the first down, great, but if not, let's get it back into a makeable range.
Kim stays in the pocket, steps up, incomplete, a little bit too far out in front of Jalen Franklin, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, really nice job by the middle linebacker, Jay Higgins. Watch as you see Franklin cross the field. Number 34 just kind of stays right in the throwing lane, and it makes it difficult for Noah Kim to make an accurate throw. The middle linebacker feels it and just kind of hangs with the route a little bit, enough to make the throw go off target.
So Jonathan Kim, his fourth attempt. This one will be from 50 yards out. Already you see 31, 32, 58. And we'll see if Kim can stay perfect to extend the lead back to 6. And his kick hits the upright, no good.
Well, the great thing for Iowa, there's no more points, and it's good field position for the offense. Ball was well struck. It just started right and stayed right and doinked off the right upright. Plenty of leg, plenty of distance. A little off the mark to the right.
He set a stadium record, Kinnick Stadium record of a 58-yard field goal, but that miss keeps it at a 3-point game, and now Iowa with a chance to drive this length of the field. 38 seconds to head into the fourth quarter here, maybe with some momentum. Hill, through his progressions, through the hands of his intended target. It was Ragaini.
Yeah, from here on that first look, that looked like a catchable pass. And again, Deacon Hall on first down, empty backfield. You got 5 receivers out. He started to read right. He came back to the left to a secondary receiver and looked like it was a pretty good throw.
Love to see that. Cade McNamara, he's as experienced as they come around the country. He's led his team to the college football playoff a couple years ago with Michigan, but staying positive on the sideline. And that one, a skipper to Vines, is going to be incomplete.
That's why that first down play is so critical, because now you miss 2 and it's 3rd and 10, and you play right into the hands of the Michigan State defense. This is not an offense in Iowa that is built for 3rd and 10. And they're built okay for 3rd and 4 to 5. They're not built for 3rd and 10.
Hill just trying to find that rhythm again now. He's 8 of 17 on the night throwing the football.
And see, these are hard throws. Defense showing pressure. They might come out. They might come after him. They're bringing pressure.
Hill, a little too high for Vines, and a 3 and out. And the fans starting to get restless here at Kinnick Stadium.
Well, it's pretty good pressure. He had to get rid of the football. If he could have held it a little bit longer, he did have his tight end, Ostranga, opening up in the middle of the field, but he was looking outside the whole way and didn't see the tight end. Might have been a catch.
And this is a difficult position for Hill, getting his first legitimate action as Taylor lets another punt go and just flips the field beautifully on a fair catch for Tyrell Henry, just shy of the 25. Tomorrow night, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs take on the New York Jets. Football Night in America begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. And Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark will have the call. Taylor Swift, the big storyline. We hear the rumors that she's going to be in attendance. Here's my thing. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, the new power couple, Todd,
Yeah,
right? We always hear about the nicknames of power couples. Brangelina, or maybe Jelena, or whatever it might be. I'm going with Swifty here. It already fits with the fan base. I don't think it's trailer. I don't think it's Tavis. That sounds like a rental car. I like Swifty.
I'll go with Swifty.
All right, I'm glad you're on my side.
Yeah. All I know is that Travis Kelce was a pretty big deal and a pretty advertising darling before this, and now his stuff's going through the roof.
Skyrocketing.
Yeah, it's been a good deal for him all the way around.
We head to the fourth quarter in Iowa City. A tight ball game. Big Ten showdown defense has been king. 16-13 after 3. Michigan State clinging to a one-possession lead as we head to the fourth. Aerial coverage brought to you by Ford. Beautiful shots. Oh, that is incredible. The crater of the moon. You see, we know the Tonight Show's coming back. Matthew McConaughey, star of Interstellar. I think I understand his character now, why he'd want to explore after I saw that. That's spectacular stuff. 2nd down and 7 to start the fourth quarter for this Michigan State offense. Jalen Berger in the game. Nate Carter will get a blow. He's up to 100 yards on the ground for the Spartans. Kim feels immediate pressure, just lets it fly, and he does get a completion of 2 yards to Foster.
Yeah, really nice job by Foster getting that foot down. Had to go airborne to make the catch. It's a long throw for Noah Kim to the sideline, and Foster did a great job getting 1 foot down.
So it sets up 3rd down and 5. This Iowa defense, for so many years, has been so disciplined, has not allowed explosive plays. And tonight, with 2 takeaways on Kim, can they come up with another big momentum shifter to start this fourth quarter?
Well, they've held him out 3 of 11 on 3rd down so far.
Kim stays in the pocket, now rolls. On the run and out of bounds.
And they get 3 of 12.
Defense continues to do his job. Offense playing without their starting quarterback for Iowa, Cade McNamara. And Deacon Hill, the transfer coming over by way initially of Santa Barbara and then through Wisconsin, has a lot on his shoulders right now for this Iowa offense that once again has looked anemic at times tonight.
Well, you know what? Let's put a little bit of the pressure on the offensive line of Iowa. They've got to step up.
Eckley, a fantastic punt inside the 10. Can they get to it? Yes, it dies at the 5. Second of the day that Eckley has pinned them deep with a Conor McGregor celebration to boot.
Eckley said, Tory Taylor's good. Yeah, he's great. But hey, I can do this thing too. And these two guys have both been outstanding today in a defensive low-scoring game where field position is at a premium. For the 2nd time, he pins this Iowa offense back inside the 5-yard line.
That was a 67-yard punt from Eckley, and now Deacon Hill and this Iowa offense that's been struggling as is going to have to go 95 yards to find a way to either tie or take the lead in this game. They've got all 3 tight ends, and they've got Moulton, their freshman running back. Brown in motion. Play action. Hill, he's got a lot of time, lets the play develop, then just dumps it down and gains 1 for a stringa.
Well, Michigan State, just great discipline on the defense. That was a 3-man route. They had a wide receiver and a couple tight ends.
And it's an incomplete pass, so 2nd and 10.
Michigan State just all over those routes. Scotty Hazelton has to be really happy with the way his defense has played. The last 2 weeks, they faced really good quarterbacks. Michael Penix Jr. of Washington and Talia Tagovailoa of Maryland.
Handoff, no running room. Moulton is swallowed up and gains 2. Simeon Barrow adds to his tally. Malik Spencer has been active from the secondary. And this Michigan State defense, they deserve a lot of credit for the way they played tonight.
And they've got a lot of guys out. I mean, they're playing on a very thin defensive roster. Last week, they were missing a couple starters, missing those same guys tonight, plus a couple more. So a valiant effort by this Spartan defense.
Kobe Windman ruled out for the season. Mangum out. Brantley out. Jackson out. Butler. Here's a 3rd and 8. Hill has to get out of the end zone. Gets rid of it just in time. It's incomplete, and the flag comes in.
They're going to bail him out. Ade Willie, number 20, a guy that probably wouldn't be playing if it weren't for the injuries, is out there on a critical 3rd down play, and he's going to get called for pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Trying to get the ball to Seth Anderson. And it was not a great throw, but they drew the penalty and they got some breathing room. And I just think it's important for Iowa, even if they don't score on this possession, to make a couple first downs, let their defense rest, all right, and then flip the field with their punter. Because Michigan State has run 60 plays on offense and Iowa has only run 40. So they've got to hold the ball and possess it a little bit on this drive.
Moulton stood up. That was blown up after a pickup of 1. Malik Spencer. What a day.
Really nice job by Spencer coming from his safety position, closing quickly. Here he is right here. Watch him just read this and come quickly to the point of attack. It's a little inside twist by the linebackers, and then the safety cleans up the play.
What can Deacon Hill come up with? Your typical quarterback build, 6'3", 260 pounds, but he's shown that he's got plenty of arm strength, and another completion to Ragaini across the 25.
Short completion. Good job by Ragaini holding on to the football and taking the hit, but at least it gives him a shot here on third down. With this distance, you can call play where the quarterback shouldn't have to hold the ball too long.
Le'Shawn Williams back in the game. He coughed it up. He's going to be split out wide to the top of your screen. The running back. 3rd and 5. Hill delivers. Complete.
Big
First
time.
third down conversion of the day to Seth Anderson.
And you can't throw it any better. Seth Anderson is in the slot. He's running the slant. It's a perfect throw. And he caught it with his hands. I mean, that's well done by quarterback and receiver. Seth Anderson comes from a family and a dad who knows a little bit about being a receiver, right?
No doubt his father, Willie, 10-year NFL vet, set the single game NFL record with 336 receiving yards when he was with the Rams against the Saints back in 1989. Handoff up the middle, and Moulton again just kind of smothered right away after he picks up 1.
When we talked to Brian Ferentz, he said about this Michigan State defense, it kind of reminds him physically of the Spartans 10 or 12 years ago, where they're really big and physical in their defensive front. Their edge guys are kind of leaner and faster, but their inside guys are big, bulky guys, and they clog things up, and they've done that tonight against this Iowa run game.
2nd and 9. Hill dials up a deep one. Incomplete. Anderson was hit.
Penalty. I mean, you just can't come over and hit the receiver unless you determine this was uncatchable. But he wasn't making a play on the ball. The safety is just going to come and hit the receiver.
It's close to being uncatchable.
It is, but I didn't see that signal by an official that was uncatchable. I mean, that signal is the hand over the head, saying it wasn't catchable, but you just can't make that kind of contact, I don't think.
It was Spencer who came over, laid the hit, and it sets up 3rd and 9. Hill hit as he throws. It's dropped. Caleb Brown, the Ohio State transfer, had a chance to extend the drive. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, and how many drops is that we've seen from the Iowa receivers tonight? We talked about them having to be a bigger part of the offense. This is a good throw. It's a good route because he's past the sticks. It's a first down. You just got to catch the football. It's a good throw away from the defense, and that's probably the 3rd or 4th ball that a receiver has dropped. 5 tonight already.
So now it'll be Tory Taylor. And this is at least what you said, Ty. They gave themselves some breathing room. Now Tory Taylor can see if he can pin them deep, as he's done so many times before. Line drive kick, fair catch made at the 11 by Tyrell Henry. So nice job to flip the field by Iowa. They started at their own 5-yard line and now pin them deep in their own territory. Time now for the QB comparison, brought to you by Genesis. And Todd, it's not entirely fair to look at Deacon Hill overall. He got thrust into the role just 2 drives into this game as Cade McNamara was sent out of the game due to an injury. For Noah Kim, the key was always taking care of the football, and the 2 interceptions have been costly.
Well, and Deacon Hill also, I mean, 2 drives started inside the 5-yard line, and we already talked about the 5 drop passes that have affected him as well. There's a false start, illegal motion. Iowa so locked into
False
movement.
Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That'll take it from the 12 to the 7.
Tyrell Henry, an inside receiver, and Jay Higgins, I mean, he sees this every time. Watch 34. As soon as he sees that movement, man, he starts pointing. I mean, he is all over it, and he's right.
He's 2 for 2. This is where the crowd and the defense generally impact football games at Kinnick.
Noah Kim just cannot afford another turnover.
Hand it off, Carter. And he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Xavier Wampa adds to his tally.
Now, we should mention Carter, too. He had a costly fumble in the game last week against Maryland, too. There's 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles in that ball game that led to 21 points by the Terrapins.
And despite the 5 turnovers, Michigan State outgained Maryland in that game 376 to 362. That's why they felt confident coming into this one, and they felt their defense played much better in the second half. That's been a carryover here to Iowa City. 2nd and 11. Kim, swing it out. Henry with some space. Gets through the hole and has the first down.
Well, what a beautiful job by Evan Morris, number 92. He's playing a lot more in this game because of the injury to Malik Carr. But watch 92 right here. This is a key block. All right, the corner's running off in coverage. He's got to get this block on the linebacker, Nick Jackson. And because he does his job, Michigan State converts it to a first down on 2nd 11.
Nate Carter back in the game, 104 yards on the ground today. Get it to him. Carter, stutter step. That's exactly what you said. Most running backs there maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. He turns it into 2 to 3 yards.
Yeah, I mean, which are positive gains because it keeps you a little bit ahead of the sticks, you know. And really, I mean, there's 9. We're getting ready to reach the 9-minute mark, so it's not crunch time yet because it's just a 1-score game. But with the problems Iowa has had offensively, Michigan State would be wise to use clock here. I mean, really, don't lose your momentum and your timing and your tempo, but use as much clock as you can to squeeze Iowa when they do get the football.
Back to Carter. He slips behind the line of scrimmage. Jackson was there either way, so he loses 2. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Jackson was coming on a run blitz, and he kind of ran right into the play. And Carter had nowhere to go. Watch Jackson right here, number 10. Perfectly timed blitz right into that gap, and Carter has nowhere to go. And this is the play right here that the Iowa defense has to make. If they can get off the field here, they'll get decent field position after the punt.
Michigan State 0 for 4 on 3rd down in the second half. This is 3rd and 10. Kim just gets rid of it. Iowa gets the stop. They'll get the football back here, down by just 3.
Nice job. Man underneath coverage. The safeties are looking to help. And Kim not able to go anywhere accurately with the football.
We've said it before, we'll say it again. Cooper DeJean is one of the most dangerous players in all of college football with the ball in his hands. Already an interception today.
Yeah.
Last year in the blackout game, he had a punt return for a touchdown against Wisconsin.
But
he had more magic.
Eckley has done a great job of directional punting.
And this one's a shank.
Wow.
Won't even get to midfield.
He's had a wonderful night until right now. And a short field now for this beleaguered Iowa offense.
It'll start at the 38-yard line of the Spartans. 15-yard punt in the worst moment, inopportune for the Spartans. Midway through the fourth quarter, Iowa with a chance to tie or take the lead here. We welcome you back to Kinnick Stadium, and realistically, great field position. This is the moment for the offense.
It feels like it's now or never for Iowa's offense. They're on the 38-yard line, and I think Eric All, who's been very quiet, he had 3 catches early. I think he has to rise to the occasion here for this Iowa offense.
He had the big first half. Now Deacon Hill coming in, that backup quarterback for Cade McNamara, who got hurt on the second drive of the game. Can he lead his team to a victory at home? We'll start from the Spartan 38. Swing it right on cue. It's All. Makes one man miss. All across the 35 and then upended at the 33.
Last week he had a critical fumble, the first turnover of the game against Penn State. Made a nice play, a nice hard run, and then lost the football on a play similar to that at the end of the play. That time does a great job of securing the football and picking up some positive yardage.
All now up to 4 catches, 67 yards, and that impressive individual effort for the touchdown in the second quarter. Deshaun Williams, the running back, after the pickup of 5, 2nd and 5. Williams protects the ball, and then he just squirms forward, slithers through, and he's close to that first down.
Pretty nice little run there. Got skinny, got short. Gonna be just short. Got to believe this is 4-down territory for Iowa.
Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be effective. It's 3rd and 1.
They could sneak it right there. I could see that because Michigan State was not thinking quarterback sneak on that play, so there was a gap in the middle right away. And this is not a 185-pound quarterback. This is a 260-pound quarterback. So he goes right behind their best offensive lineman, the center, Logan Jones, and easily picks up the first down.
Meanwhile, player down for the Hawkeyes. Trying to get eyes.
It looks like a lineman.
Absolutely. We'll get an identity and we'll get a checkup.
Starting guard Nick DeYoung is the guy that got hurt on this play. You're going to see a little friendly fire. The center, Logan Jones, kind of falls on that left arm. He came off the field kind of holding it, and they went into the injury tent. And Connor Colby, number 77, is going to be back in the lineup. He was the starter, but was nicked up last week. Did not practice much, but he's a regular starter at right guard.
Good experience in there. First down throw. Hill, another drop.
Yeah, this is unacceptable. I mean, we talked about at the beginning of the show that for Iowa to take the next step, the wide receivers had to start being more involved in the pass offense. And when you can get 2 hands on the football, you're supposed to make the catch. It's a good read and a good throw. And Deontay Vines drops the football. And now it's 2nd and 10, and that's hard for the quarterback. You throw on first down, and it's a high percentage down, but you got to catch the football. 6 drops now.
Hill.
Batted down, intercepted. No, it's incomplete. Oh, it looked like Halliday got underneath it.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
And he's tapping himself saying, that's on me. He had the touchdown on the scoop and score. And now, let's see how close he was to his 2nd takeaway of the day.
Yeah, I mean, just Derek Harmon, number 41, just power drives the center, Logan Jones. And I guess he got a hand on the football. And Halliday almost comes up with his 2nd turnover. There it is. The ball hits the ground.
The ruling on the
Clearly
previous
incomplete.
play was an incomplete pass. The play is under further review.
Surprised that they would even go to a full review and not get that immediate confirmation from upstairs here. This feels like a pretty obvious incomplete pass, and it will bring up 3rd down and 10 for Iowa. Take one more look. Halliday had a great beat on the football.
Yeah. No, that's a clear incomplete pass. Shouldn't take long. The good news for Iowa is it gives them a chance to make sure they're squared away on this 3rd down play. But I go back to the drop pass on first down, Noah. I mean, if you make that, it's 2nd and 2. You know, 2nd and 1.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Now you're 3rd and 10. You can't take a sack here. At the worst case scenario, you want to come out of here with a field goal and tie the football game, right?
And they are certainly within range for Drew Stevens, who already made from 53 earlier in this half. Right now, this would be about 44, 45 yards. 3rd and 10. LeSean Williams, burst of speed, and it looks like he's a yard shy of the first down. So if nothing else, a shorter field goal attempt as he picks up 9.
Yeah, decision time now for Kirk Ferentz. I mean, that was a good run, hit the hole quickly, good blocking on the left side. 2 Michigan State defenders down at the end of this play. That's going to give Kirk a little more time to decide if he wants to go for this or not. First thing he's doing, he wants to walk down and see exactly how far they have to go for a first down.
Todd, the 2 players down are maybe the 2 highest impact players of the night for this Michigan State defense. Simeon Barrow and Malik Spencer, both on the field for a defense that's already decimated by injuries. Those 2 have combined for 12 tackles tonight, and neither has gotten up quite yet.
And they're going to have to come out for this play. So that factors into Kirk Ferentz's decision too, because Barrow is a load in the inside of that defense. So if he's not on the field on this 4th and 1 play, good chance if they decide to go for it, they're going to run to the area where Simeon Barrow would have been.
Trying to get off on his own power. Seems like he'll do just that.
Derek Harmon, 41, and Maverick Hansen, 97, will be the 2 interior tackles on this play.
Please set the play clock to 40 seconds. 40 seconds on the play clock. Thank you.
And you've got to feel Kirk Ferentz has immense trust in his defense with 3 timeouts, 5:43 still on the clock. It's 4th and uber short, and yet we see Hill take his helmet off.
They're going to kick it. Yep. Hey, you could go either way on this. Tie the football game, you're still trusting your defense to get you the football back again.
Right.
And you're the home team. I mean, I have no problem with this.
So Stevens will look to tie the game. This one from 36 yards out, already good from 40 and 53 today. And the sophomore evens things up, 16 apiece. Iowa gets down the field after the rough punt for Michigan State and ties the game at 16. Trophy game in the Division I FBS since 1909. They've battled for it, 2 founding members of the Big Ten, and of course the number 2 team in the country who looked strong once again today. We just saw Harlan Barnett, acting head coach, chopping it up with winningest head coach in Michigan State history, Mark D'Antonio. And certainly just talking strategy here now, a tie game, 5:19 left, both teams with all 3 timeouts. Defense has been stupendous on either side. So if you're Noah Kim, you recognize the moment, and if you're Harlan Barnett, you've got to understand what you have to do on this drive.
Yeah, I mean, a lot is going to depend on how the first couple plays go. You know, if you think you can be aggressive and try to get a score on this possession, you can't afford a big mistake. You obviously can't afford another turnover if you're Noah Kim, but you've moved the ball pretty well against this Iowa defense.
Remember, no Malik Carr, the number 1 target for Kim. Play action, first down, and he just lost it a little too high for Foster. DeJean in coverage, and they've been knotted up for most of the night, certainly since Carr went to the locker room and now had been ruled out.
Well, and the same thing we just talked about with Iowa. You throw on first down, which I like, but if it's incomplete and you're 2nd and 10, now the advantage swings to the defense.
And the crowd plays a factor here at Kinnick, especially in a night game situation. Right back to the air for Kim. On the run. Oh, a completion. It'll be short of the first down for Foster, but he came back for it, and Kim just stayed patient on that one to make it 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, I mean, this is a designed rollout. I mean, for Noah Kim, he sets up in the pocket, pauses for a second, and then by design, he's going to roll out. And he shortens this throw to the sideline, and he puts it on target to Foster. They've run that a couple times in the ball game already.
And we've seen them run it on 3rd down with Nate Carter as well. They have struggled in the second half. 0 for 5 on third down. They need 3. And they moved Evan Morris.
Well, Evan Morris got the penalty.
False start. Offense number 92. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
What Evan Morris is complaining about is there was a shift by the Iowa defensive line, and he's saying that's what caused me to flinch. The penalty went against Morris. There was a shift by the Iowa defense late, but Morris has to hold his water on that play, and it's 3rd and longer now. Maybe takes the run out of the equation.
Play clock down to 5.
Boy, you don't want to waste a timeout here, but they're going to have to. 4 minutes and 9 seconds left in the ball game, and you use one of your timeouts.
Michigan State, their first of the half.
And now that crowd noise starting to get, again, first road game of the season for Michigan State. So understanding the elements, understanding a raucous environment, and Noah Kim, first year as a starter now, starting in his first road game for Michigan State as well.
Yeah, and again, the other thing you have to keep in mind here, and I'm sure Harlan Barnett and Mark D'Antonio talking about this also, is going to overtime is not going to be the worst thing that would happen to us, all right? Because our defense has played great. We're right in this football game. Our punter, other than that last one, has played great. So even worst case scenario, we finish regulation tied, we exchange a couple punts, and we try to win it in overtime with a short field.
And you're going up against the backup quarterback who's not as experienced with his unit. 3rd and 8. Another shift.
Again, yeah. And it's the same kind of thing. There's a little movement and a little flinching by the Iowa defensive front, and it's drawn the penalty.
False start. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Spencer Brown, and that's backbreaking coming out of a timeout.
You see the shift by Iowa, and that is causing a little bit of this to happen with Michigan State. And these linemen, they can't rely on hearing the count. They've got to kind of look in at the ball and move when the ball moves.
Deep drop. Kim unloads.
Incomplete. He gave Trey Mosley a shot, but DeJean was locked up in coverage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, DeJean came underneath the route. He took a gamble to go underneath the route, and the ball goes over his head, and Mosley actually has a chance to make a play on it because Kim put it in the right spot. If he underthrows that, it's an interception, but he gave his receiver the best chance, but they weren't able to connect.
Ryan Eckley had a 15-yard punt on the last possession. DeJean, dangerous and deep. And this one much better. But room for DeJean to work. Crowd can sense it. DeJean across midfield, breaks the tackle. DeJean down the sideline. Goodbye. Touchdown, Iowa. He has worked his magic again. 70-yard return.
It was a low punt, and it was right in the middle of the field. It wasn't directional, and it gave DeJean a chance to operate with a lot of room. The first critical play of the special teams is huge for Iowa.
Critical extra point, and Stevens sticks it.
Now, when you see this return, you'll see the ball is low and it's in the middle. And when DeJean catches it, there's nobody around him, so he has time to operate. There's one good block right there, and then missed tackles. 1-2, two guys run into each other. It wasn't like a lot of great blocks. There was one big block, and then Cooper DeJean just shows his athleticism and what a special football player he is. 3 pick sixes for touchdowns last year. He had an interception earlier in the game and a back-breaking punt return touchdown just a moment ago.
Todd, last week they played at the whiteout game at Penn State. Tonight is a blackout game here in Iowa City. And last year in the blackout game against Wisconsin, Cooper DeJean had a pick six and a punt return touchdown.
Wow.
And tonight in the blackout game against Michigan State, he's got an interception and a 70-yard punt return touchdown to get his team back in front for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah. The key block was by T.J. Hall, another defensive back who was blocking the gunner. And then Cooper DeJean just showed what he's all about.
Stevens sends it away for a touchback.
Phil Parker told us he could play all 5 positions in the back end of our defense, could probably play wide receiver, running back, or even quarterback if he wanted to. He's a special athlete, and he made a special play in a big moment right there.
So now 3:45. Michigan State had to burn the timeout in the last possession, so they only have the 2.
Yeah.
Clock won't stop on the first downs until under 2 minutes to play. And Noah Kim, in his first road start in a Michigan State uniform, has a daunting task ahead of him.
Well, but this is, as a young quarterback, this is what you dream about, right? Being in this situation. The thing I'll say about him, he's got a lot of coolness and composure about him.
He'll throw on first down. Time runs out, and he's flushed. Directing traffic, throws it away.
I was impressed in talking to him and even watching him and his demeanor when things went bad. He still kept his composure, and he told us his martial arts training when he was young was a big part of that. It taught him how to just control his emotions, and no matter what was happening, good or bad, to trust his training and to not get out of whack. And he can't afford to get out of whack right here. Got to make something positive here, though. At least half the yardage on this second down play.
Swing it, Mosley. Good blocking, and he does get that half. Oh, he loses the football at the end.
Iowa jumps on it, and they give him the possession.
Well, there was a big-time hit.
Mosley still feeling the effects.
It was Jay Higgins, the middle linebacker, who laid a monster hit on the ball carrier. Mosley still on the ground, but Jay Higgins forces the 3rd Michigan State turnover of the game. Watch Higgins come up and dislodge the football. Also, the helmet of another defender was in there as well. That's Nick Jackson, number 10. The big hit from Jay Higgins on the inside, and Jackson with the helmet on the football. And Iowa forces another turnover.
Ethan Hurkett recognized the ball was loose, hopped directly on it. It was all fueled by the 70-yard punt return by Cooper DeJean. But how about this defense again, coming through when they need them the most?
And remember, we said through the first 4 games, only 3 sacks and only 3 takeaways. 3 takeaways tonight, so they matched their season total. And that one at a very critical time.
So the offense will come back on the field. They do have to review it and confirm that it was a turnover. All turnovers are reviewable, and this will stand once they go through every angle.
I love the call. You know, it's 2nd and 10. They had a nice, safe play. They got about 7 yards on it. We're going to have 3rd and manageable. But it was just a big-time hit by Jay Higgins, their leading tackler.
And Mosley still down. He's one of the captains today. Someone who has recorded a reception in 22 straight games. Just means so much to this team with his leadership and experience.
Higgins had 18 tackles, a career high a week ago at Penn State. And this defense played 97 plays a week ago. And he made probably the biggest tackle of the season right there.
And for all the talk about the offense for Iowa, and certainly in this one, it's hard to really judge them properly because Kate McNamara went down in the second series. But with all the talk, at the end of the day, your bread is buttered where your bread is buttered. And once again, the defense made plays, and Cooper DeJean, that special teams, that just impact on every facet of the game. it always comes through. It always rises to the top, and it guides Iowa to a chance now in the driver's seat to get a win.
Well, Cooper DeJean with the return. The place kicker was perfect, and your punter's a stud. I mean, you know, your special teams are solid all the way around to go with this rock-solid defense.
Only 2 timeouts remaining for Michigan State. Williams up the middle, finds the seam, keeps the legs going across the 25-yard line, and makes it 2nd down and 5. Malik Spencer back in the game, has another tackle.
All power football here now. 13 personnel, 3 tight ends. Pulled the backside guard, one of those tight ends, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna use clock here, take their time in the huddle, and milk as much clock as they can.
Remember, the only touchdown of the day for Michigan State was on a fumble recovery for a score. It was LeSean Williams who fumbled the football, and he stays in there on 2nd and 4.
Same play.
Up the gut, Williams bounces off. He's got the 1st down.
Same play. Eric Hall's been kind of quiet catching the football, but back-to-back plays, he's the lead blocker on this run. And they get the 1st down. What? They pull backside here, and here's Eric Hall. He's going to lead up on the linebacker, get the key block. Same play, back-to-back. And Iowa with a fresh set of downs.
Using that clock, approaching 2 minutes to play. Williams, stutter step, gains 3 more.
Same play, just the other way. And again, they're just going to stick with this. They're going to force Michigan State to use their timeouts.
Michigan State, they're 2nd of the half.
This. Well, Cooper DeJean, we met with him on Friday. We were impressed with him. The coaches love him. Eyes on the quarterback. His ability to read and react. Gets the foot down for the interception. And then moments ago, the play of the game, the punt return. They made a mistake in where they punted the football. He got it with too much space. And he made the biggest play of the football game for the Hawkeyes.
This is somebody who, in every sport he played growing up, was the best one playing it. He was an unbelievable basketball player with over 1,800 points in high school. He said he could pick up pretty much anything, and he would play anything under the sun. It was his way of having fun with his friends, and yet he excelled. And so he was a quarterback. He thought he was always going to play quarterback in college, but when Iowa offered, he recognized what they did on the defensive side, what Phil Parker did in developing defensive players and getting them to the NFL. And right now, he's put himself in position to be a first-round pick this year. 2nd and 7. It all in motion. Williams, and will be gobbled up at the 14.
So, you know, we have to say something about Deacon Hill, too, because, you know, he hasn't had a brilliant night, but the hardest job in football, pro, college, is the backup quarterback, because backup linebackers, backup wide receivers, backup running backs, they get reps, or they're on special teams, right? And so they practice, they get their reps in practice and end the game. A backup quarterback does not get very many reps unless the starter gets hurt. And Cade McNamara went down early in this game, and all of a sudden now Deacon Hill is the guy. He's the starting quarterback. So hats off to him for being prepared to step into this moment. Again, not outstanding numbers, but he made some nice plays. He made some nice throws. He took care of the football. He managed the offense. And he's going to get a win tonight, it looks like. You know, he's got an in good position to get a win coming off the bench and being the guy. And, you know, based on the way that injury looked, he could be the guy for the next several weeks. Don't know what Cade McNamara's future is going to be, but Deacon Hill was ready for his opportunity tonight.
McNamara has been actively involved in the game on the sideline. 3rd and 5. Williams pushing the pile. He stops short. Snow, the first one there. 4th down upcoming. No more timeouts for Michigan State. So this one will tick down all the way to about a minute to play in this 4th quarter. And a field goal, in all likelihood, puts out of reach. However, if they go for it, the 1st down most certainly ends the game.
Well, I think Kirk Ferentz is going to let the clock go all the way down to about 2 seconds and then use one of his timeouts. Get as much of this clock out as he can and then decide what he wants to do. I would guess they will kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game. Tell you what, LeSean Williams made some tough runs here. Remember, had a critical fumble. They took him out for a couple possessions. They went back with him, and he ran the ball hard and protected the football down the stretch for Iowa's offense.
Most experienced running back they have available, and it looks like Stevens is making his way towards the field of play. But without Caleb Johnson, who was impressive as a freshman last year, dealing with an ankle injury, and without Jazian Patterson, who's got a lower body injury himself. Williams, the most experienced returner. You've got 2 true freshmen that played today in Terrell Washington and Kamari Moulton. It'll be interesting to see what this Iowa offense looks like moving forward, to your point, Todd, especially if Cade McNamara is out for an extended period of time. But a lot of credit to the way that they just handled themselves in this moment, understanding that they fell behind in that third quarter on that fumble recovery and score from Cal Haladay, and just remaining in the moment, not getting too far in front, not thinking too far behind, just staying present.
And I really think, especially based on what they looked like the last week, both teams played exceptionally better and well enough to win. But it was a special teams play that was the difference in the punt return touchdown.
So a 29-yard attempt for Stevens, and a flag is going to be thrown. That would have been good.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, offense number 67, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Jennings Dunker called for the infraction. Back it up just enough.
Yeah. So that movement, we've seen that penalty, that flinching penalty, get called on Michigan State a couple times. And this time Iowa gets it.
34-yard attempt. And the kick is good. Gets Iowa up to 26. And Stevens, the celebration after the fact.
26. One of those touchdowns on a special teams punt return, but it's 26.
It'll count just the same. And in the drive to 325, the average of 25 points per game that's been so heavily talked about with this Iowa team. We heard in the pregame as Stevens goes a little Steph Curry down the stretch with the night. But we heard it from our pregame crew, and they really detailed it well. They have to average 26 points per game the rest of the way to get up to 25 for the season, as they came in at 21.3. And so 26 tonight, especially considering your starting quarterback goes down. You didn't have a chance to prepare with Deacon Hill. Right. It's got to feel pretty good to get to that number.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to be thrilled with the way your team responded. Again, after an abysmal performance a week ago against Penn State, they came back and they played well, and they did it with a backup quarterback, and they found a way to win late. And Arlen Barnett has got to be proud of his guys too, because Michigan State played a good football game.
There's offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz. That 25 points per game is an amendment to his contract. That is part of the deal for this year. They need to average that and win 7 games. And yet in this fourth quarter, of course, with the punt return touchdown from DeJean, but in the first 4 games of the fourth quarter, Iowa 17 points total. Tonight, 13.
Yeah.
So 59 seconds left. Noah Kim and Michigan State, no timeouts left. We'll have one final gasp to try to get back on the board and maybe onside kick. Hope for a miracle here. And if nothing else, again, good experience for both Kim and his acting head coach Harlan Barnett, who had definitely some learning lessons today and also some bright moments towards the end of that first half to get that 58-yard field goal. In all likelihood, it looks like Michigan State will be dropping their 3rd consecutive game. There's Kim. His pass batted in the air and incomplete. Logan Lee got the hand on it. You know, Michigan State only has 2 more games the rest of the season at Spartan Stadium, because their final game of the season is technically a home game, but at Ford Field in Detroit against Penn State on Black Friday. So after all the first 4 games at home, they're going to be road warriors the rest of the way. And you talked about the camaraderie that builds and the togetherness and closeness of the team. It feels like right now this is the turning point of the season. If they can find that right groove together, if they can find that right feeling of just having each other's backs, they can still find a way to make this a fairly successful season. They've got Rutgers next week on the road, a team that's much improved this year. And for Noah Kim, another opportunity to get some road experience as well.
Well, the tough thing for them is they've got the 3 big boys in the East still left on their schedule. And you know, that is not going to be an easy task, because Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State loom down the stretch. So you got to believe that Rutgers game is a game they have to feel like, okay, look, if we're going to get it turned around, it's going to have to be them.
I hope they can get Malik Carr back, who went out at the very end of the first quarter and did not return in this game. Such a critical part of their offense. They go for it on 4th and 8. Kim, long ball.
Nice throw.
Complete. Jalen Franklin, the backup tight end.
It's a long throw. He's on the right hash. He's throwing it back to the left sideline. Takes a good arm to make that throw, and he delivered it on the money to the backup tight end Franklin.
Clock runs. 15 seconds left for Kim. Another long one. Picked off. Undercut by Jamari Harris. And there's the nail in the coffin.
Well, we saw Cooper DeJean do the same thing, and Jamari Harris. They play so much coverage where they have eyes on the quarterback. Watch Jamari Harris, 27. He gets his eyes back around on the quarterback. He sees the ball released, and he knows when to make a play on the football. They're so well schooled in their technique as defensive backs. They get eyes around, and then they make a play on the football. Both cornerbacks with big-time interceptions tonight.
Michigan State, 5 turnovers last week against Maryland. They've got 4 turnovers here tonight. That was at the top of their mind. The forefront of their keys to the game was take care of the football. Iowa takes advantage. It'll be one final knee from Deacon Hill. The backup quarterback replaces Cade McNamara and helps lead the Hawkeyes to the win. But at the end of the day, Cooper DeJean is the man in Iowa City. So the Hawkeyes get back in the win column after being shut out for the first time since 2000. A week ago at Penn State, they win at 26-16. Harlan Barnett, Kirk Ferentz, a lot of respect for each other. Just missed each other in Cleveland. And then Phil Parker and Harlan Barnett, the former teammates at MSU, as we go down to Catherine Tappan.
Cooper, you told us yesterday, once I get the ball, I want to score every single time. A 70-yard punt return for a touchdown turned this game around. What did you see on that play?
I mean, that's just everybody doing their job on the punt return unit. You know, we've been trying to get one all year. You know, and we finally got one. You know, everybody was blocking for me up front. We got a good ball to return. So it's all credit to my teammates. It's a team effort.
When Cade McNamara went down, how was this team able to rally around your backup quarterback and the adversity that you were facing?
Yeah, you know, it's a 3-phase game, and everybody's got to compliment everybody, and that's what we try to do. You know, it's a 4-quarter game. Games aren't won in the first or second quarter. You know, so we just kept fighting through the end.
Cooper, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Noah.
All right, KT, you know, Phil Parker told us that there are 3 qualities that make Cooper DeJean special. It's the fact that he watches more film than anybody, he works harder than anybody, and it's humility. He's so humble. You could feel it right there. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your local news. Don't miss more college football next Saturday, starting with Rutgers in Wisconsin at noon on Peacock. Then Purdue takes on Iowa at 3:30 Eastern on Peacock. And then we'll be in Minneapolis as Michigan takes on Minnesota. Pre-game coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. For Catherine Tappan, Todd Blackledge, our entire crew with Matt Marvin, Charlie Dammeyer, I'm Noah Eagle saying so long from Iowa City.